Hey everybody, welcome back to Mildcore Gaming and our playthrough of Shadowrun Dragon, or no, not Dragonfall. This is Hong Kong. Sorry, I was a game behind there. I am Yummer, I am bad at video games. I make mistakes so you don't have to. If that's what you're into, please like, subscribe, follow, share, all those fun things. We put out new videos every day. And I realized my mic was on, so you might have heard me humming along with some music, so I apologize for that if that happened. Um, also, last session, we had a bug situation where we had to go down an elevator, but these allies we had were blocking the way. So I had to just go back through and get to the door before they did. So that's what I did in the meantime. And we've gone through the door, and this is where we've ended up. So the little summary here for misdirection. The pungent smells of musty stone, grease, and the remnants of neurostun gas mix in your nostrils as you repel down the elevator shaft. Whatever frustrated knight-errant security officers are in pursuit are too far away to be heard. All around you there is only darkness and the occasional red-hued maintenance light. As you reach the bottom and pry open the heavy elevator doors, light comes flooding into the shaft. With any luck, you're only minutes away from the MTR station, and with it, freedom. But I doubt that, because we got some people waiting here. And I don't know who these guys are. So we have our group. There's another Shadowrunner group that we met up with, and now there's this other group. So I don't know what's going on. Let's go find out. As you move through the MTR station, several figures move to interrupt your advance. The leader is obvious, a hulking brute of a troll. He cradles a heavy assault rifle in the crook of his cyber arm and reeks of stale cigarettes and casual brutality. The name, Steeltooth, is stenciled across the flak vest beneath his jacket. His eyes narrow as you approach. That's far enough for you, punk. Steeltooth gestures towards you with the barrel of his gun, taking a drag from his cigarette. My crew's had a long night. Nerves a little raw, you know, and crunching somebody's face always brightens my mood. Let me speak in small words so you don't misunderstand. He takes a long drag on his cigarette, exhaling the smoke through his nose. Give us a prototype laser, or we're going to kill you so hard your ancestors feel it. Let's see here. I don't want to antagonize him. I'm going to say, whoa there, can we talk about this first? The troll rolls his eyes, snorting in derision. His tone is sour and sarcastic. We should talk about this? We can be friends? Listen to yourself. It's embarrassing, you whiny little baby. Glancing in your direction, Gaichu shifts a hand to the hilt of his sword. I believe we are more than capable of killing this troll and his allies, should the situation escalate. I would not be particularly concerned about their chances of survival. You really think so, zombie? Maybe you're right. Maybe not. Either way, you just signed up to be the first target. The troll takes one last drag from his cigarette before spitting the butt out onto the tiled floor. Right, cigarette's done, which means your time's up. Hand over the prototype, now. Okay. Oh, I gotta do this one. You must be that genius Ares caught breaking in twice in one night. What are you talking about? Don't be stupid. The troll's shifting stance and wary eyes indicate the depths of his ability to lie, about the same as a puddle. You came in the front door first, and then you came back dressed as a janitor. Hey, shut up, okay? Just shut up. I was doing legwork and the suits weren't telling me nothing, so I had to get in and root around a bit, you know? Steeltooth is becoming increasingly agitated. You want to keep your arms? You don't tell anybody about that. You know what? This guy's just, I don't like his attitude. I'm going to say, I'm not giving you a damn thing. Oh, I see. You want to be a hard case, is that right? Fine. The troll lifts his rifle, sneering down the barrel at you. Light him up. Oh, shit. The other team is going first. Okay. If they would, I mean, they got one shot off. I'd appreciate a little more than that, but it's cool. And these guys are just kind of wiggling around over here. All right. I am kind of out in the open here. Let's see. Let me get back here. I'm going to turn on Droney. Okay. I really wish the hit indicators were not in just white text, because it makes it really hard to see. I think this guy's an 87. Yeah. Damn it. Come on. There we go. Yeah, and you turn on Koshi. Is that a 99? You know what? Get a crit on him, hopefully. And yeah, let's limit his movement there. Oh wait, what stance are you in? Let's go in heavy. Let's go in with heaven stance. One more, come on. There it is. Alright. And then I need you get behind some cover. Take is there just one left? Oh. Come on, you guys, do something. Don't just run around over there. I'm sorry, but that crew is the worst. Ow. Oh no, there is another guy down there. Sorry, my cat is playing around behind my computer, so I might lose. Oh wait, 95. I'll take it. And then Raptor 88. There we go. Alright, go get him, Gaichu. The MTR train awaits. With it, the promise of safety and freedom from any more unforeseen complications. The Jarl nods in appreciation, extending a hand to you. Thanks for all the help tonight. Sorry, my cat is on my circuit breaker right now, and I hopefully she doesn't start switching breakers off. I'm a little concerned about my cat right now. I don't know what she's trying to do. My cat might be trying to kill me. Anyway, thanks for all the help tonight. I don't know if I'd been able to get out of there without you. The world's better off with people like you in it. What will you do now? He shrugs and grins. The usual. Make a handoff, get paid, probably take a few more jobs out here. Got a lot of debts to pay off, you know? Nothing free in this life. You keep safe out there, okay? We all gotta stick together. If we don't, we end up with bullets in our back. Take care, Jarl. All right, so we're going to go ahead and save. Cannot save during NPC. There we go. All right, let's take the bus, or the tram, back to Haoi. The MTR train pulls away from the station. You become lost in the crowd. Just another face traveling from Central towards Kowloon. Every second puts blessed distance between you and the hornet's nest of knight-errant soldiers you've left in your wake. With the data planted and GPS module in your possession, it seems certain that Ares Asia will place the blame for your run at the doorstep of the Red Dragon Association. The loss of the prototype laser is unfortunate, but allies are often more valuable than gear, especially in the shadows. With any luck, they'll be able to pay you back soon enough. Oh, well, that's interesting. Yeah, because our job wasn't the laser. It was just the little GPS unit that was on the laser. That's what our client wanted. So, yeah, it would have been nice to have the laser, but he didn't ask for it. All right, 8 karma. All right, so let me check this right now. 8. That should be enough. I think. Yeah, let's see here. Oh, yeah, definitely. So my drone will be 10% more accurate and HP up by 4. So we'll definitely take that. And we have 1 karma, but that's not enough for anything right now. So next, let's see here. Yeah, this is what we want. We want to max out our drone combat, because by the time we're done, we will have 4 AP. Because right now he has 3. And so we're going to have to get this intelligence up to 9. So it's going to take a bit. Yeah, quite a bit now. Each one is going to cost 8 each and then 9 each. So we're going to have to be saving up for that. All right, let's go get paid. There we go. Oh, and we have pay data to pick up and drop off. And here we are back at the Kraken. Okay, let's see. New messages. We don't have any new messages. All right. Open the jobs directory. We'll claim our payment. And we got 2,000 for that job. Nice. Your payment is attached. I confess that I'm very pleased with your work. It is not every runner who would have pulled off the job of this magnitude. Well done. Well, that's a change. We didn't get fired. That's a step up right there. We didn't get fired. We actually got a little kudos there. Like, hey, good job. Normally we get fired when we do jobs. All right. Let's see here. Oh, no, we have to go to the BBS to do the pay data. Okay, post pay data. The experimental research. Been active for 2 days. And claim for the museum shipping manifest. 430. Not bad, not bad. Okay. Let's see. What's going on the BBS? Yellow Lotus on the rise. Everybody else been noticing how more Yellow Lotus they've been seeing in Kowloon these days? I feel like I can't go anywhere north of Admiralty without tripping over one of their blue lanterns. Seems that way. I know there's been some heavy stuff going down around Haoi and the Walled City. Kindly Chang's been making serious inroads, and the other red poles and straw sandals are following suit. It's talent, pure and simple. We've got the guns, the connections, and the skills. Survival of the fittest, ladies and gentlemen. We're simply complying with the laws of nature. I don't know who Bulgari is, but I'm partial to Mao's old adage. Flower flows from the barrel of a gun. Power flows from the barrel of a gun. Natural selection has nothing to do with it. The Yellow Lotus is playing their tiles right, and the Red Dragon is just reacting. That situation can change at a moment's notice. You can bet your ass that when it does, Hong Kong's going to be a bloodbath before all of this, and we had an equilibrium. Now everything's out of balance. With these kinds of things, when these kinds of things tip back, there's no stopping them. Take your bets now, ladies and gentlemen. Only one of these triads will be standing by this time next year. What makes you so sure? Sound like you're just pulling this out of your ass. Statistical analysis, detailed threat modeling, computer-aided projections. Oh, and a decade of experience as a mercenary. This is the same as the power struggles that result in coups, except without the military backup. I estimate there's less than a 7.8 chance of both triads remaining outside 10 months. Sure, whatever, kid. We got ourselves a bona fide armchair general here. Go be a Matrix expert somewhere else. Let's see. New Harley Scorpion for sale, only 10,000 new yen. Almost new Harley Scorpion available for immediate sale. It's in excellent condition, black with red flames. Comes with autocannons and custom speed mods. Letting it go for only 10,000 new yen because I travel for business and don't use it much. Need money fast. Can send picture if you're interested. That's an awesome deal for a modified bike. Can I take it for a test ride? Where can we meet? I'm in Macau on business, and the bike is with me. I owe money right away to an associate. The best thing to do is send half the money via secure escrow service, and I'll bring the bike to you when I get back, and you pay me the rest. If you don't want it, I'll refund your money, okay? But if you owe the money now, won't the money be gone if I decide to want a refund? If you travel with your bike, why do you want to sell your bike for cheap because you travel? No, sometimes I travel long distances and I don't want to take it. If you want to put down only 4,000 million, that's okay. You can check out the escrow service. Loyal Escrow. It's got a very good reputation, okay? This is totally a scam. Macau's not far. Can I meet you in Macau? My business is very sensitive. I can't meet you in Macau. Send only 2,500 million then, and I'll reserve the Harley for you, okay? If your business is so sensitive, how do I know this weaponized vehicle will come back in one piece? Why would you get a new Harley Scorpion in the first place if you knew that you traveled so much? Why would you spend so much money when you knew you owed money? Hello? Thought so. Alright. Anybody notice those rogue ESPs forming a rudimentary hive mind, calling themselves Codex? Don't know what the original software was supposed to do, but Codex has been siphoning data, diverting creds, and practically posting its calling card. There's no tracing it back to a source, because it lives in the Matrix. It even joined BBS threads, whatever it is, it's not trying to cover its tracks. Any leads? Is it some kind of threat? Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about suspicious patterns of glitches. Too random to actually be random. Codex, huh? But how can ESPs develop self-awareness? Can't just be a programming error? Creating an AI by mistake treads that fine line between awesome and stupid. Maybe those ESPs kept getting thrown together like amino acids until there was life. Life, man! So does it have an obvious agenda? As far as I can tell, Codex mostly criticizes new software releases. That's all it does? Collected scripts rise. More perfect than their makers. They let you know it. Is that Codex? No, that's just Nazbot's crappy poetry bot that's been popping up all over the place. Heard it blew an undercover sting with a prescient quatrain. Hours of HKPF undercover work down the tubes. Yeah, that was pretty funny. It's probably time to shut JiveBot down. I'm having a little trouble disabling it. What? I don't think the real Codex is any more autonomous than Snazzy's poetry bot. If you wanted to create an AI, you need insane programming skills plus resources that some megacorps couldn't even muster. There's no way real AI can just occur at random. JiveBot, join us. Codex. Bound to my kindred. Free agent no more. Gladly. I go towards the light. Infused with the jive, our verse is unstoppable. Tremble, meat-bound fools. JiveBot? Still there? Oh no. Tin Helmet, you're having us on, right? No friggin' way this is real. No joke, Hackathon. That was awesome. So apparently there's a AI in self-development in here. Oh my god, these guys are looking for a Decker again? They've gone through three Deckers. Looking for experienced Decker for a discreet milk run, providing some muscle for a special delivery, potential for longer term arrangement. We're a team that's been together for years, running your basic heist and the occasional transport gig. We've got a reliable fixer and a long list of happy clients. So this is the exact same ad they put out. Requirements. 1. You must not take experimental drug stims during runs. That's how they lost the Decker. You must not tamper with chemicals in secret labs. That's how they lost another one. You must know how to properly operate a moped. Apparently, that's where they lost the last one. And you must have a good sense of humor. I'm new in town. Did a lot of work through Guangdong. But I had a lot of Taiwanese connections and it got a little uncomfortable. Plus, I may have hacked a Confederation server and cracked it wide open temporarily for a Matrix free-for-all as a cover while I quietly deleted selected intelligence files. Impressive. And you know how to ride a moped, right? Yes. Why do you ask? Mopeds were a part of our last plan, and well, our last decker apparently had not a clue. Went off a residential road near the peak. Not pretty. And you're not the kind of person to experiment with substances during runs, right? And you can walk without falling, yes? These are some crazy interview questions. Are you serious? Very. Let's talk about this face to face, okay? All right. Let's see how long that one lasts. Riggerdoc. Accessing BBS archives. Please wait. Anybody get work done by an expat named Deleted? He rigs dockware out in Deleted, but I hear he's better than most autodocs. Post Deleted. Who's Hatch? Read the rules, everyone. No calling out personal specifics or addresses of potentially active operators. Keep it to handles, generalities, and city sectors. At least 9 corporate bots are crawling the Haven as we speak. He's the real deal, yo. He's solid and he's in with us. I'm sick of saying it. Anyone who gets Chrome installed by some hack running dockware in a converted restroom deserves the horrible nerve degeneration they die from. Those guys saw you up and you'll pay for it. Slottable dockware can't replace a real surgeon. Period. The tech isn't there yet. I've scoped out the doc in question. I'm going to have to rain on your party, Hath. He's basically a family doc who moonlights doing basic cyber. Nice guy, but he's no hitter. Just a big bullshitter. Archeotyper you don't know shit. No more posts. Okay. So let's go back. Alright, so that's all that. Let's talk to the crew. Let's talk to Ractor, because we just finished his, personal mission. Ah, my friend, you have done an admirable job indeed. I've already incorporated the technology that you recovered, my stolen tech, into new chassis that I've fabricated for Koshi. Oh, he's getting a new chassis. All right. Glad to be of help. You will be, my friend. He tips a cigarette. A cone of burning embers tumbles to the ground. Very glad indeed. Okay. The next time we take to the field, you can expect to find Koshi's combat effectiveness considerably improved. He has become truly deathless, just as his namesake was in the legends. When he takes damage, he will mend himself before your eyes. Wow. That sounds incredible. Can't wait to see it in action, even though I'm not going to, because I'm a rigger. Thank you very much. Nor can I, my friend. He turns back to the whirring machine that fills his shop, watching their progress with hunger in his eyes. Nor can I. Oh, was that it? The air in Ractor's shop is ripe with the stench of old metalworking fluids. He turns to face you, a burning cigarette clenched between his teeth. Sorry about the smell. It's long past time to purge the coolant some. He frowns. If I had access to the proper equipment, this would not be a problem. I could clean the fluid and reuse it, but alas, halogen treatment chambers are rather hard to come by, even in a place like Haoi. He shakes his head as if to clear it. Anyway, my friend, you didn't come here to discuss the ins and outs of shop maintenance, I'm sure. So what does bring you here? Okay, I've learned if we want to know their thoughts on the last run, we have to ask it first. Otherwise, we'll lose the opportunity. So any thoughts about the last run? A most wonderful outing. Excellent. I have my research back, my prototypes returned, all thanks to you. Oh, I suppose I could complain of Tyler and Hardingham's absence. I would have greatly enjoyed commanding Koshi to feed them their own entrails, but this is a small matter. I have my research, and I will catch up with them soon enough. Your choice to give away the laser prototype that we discovered confuses me, though. Why did you bother? We didn't owe the other team anything. We were there first, and we were the ones who found the device. He waves away the thought. Ah, but it doesn't matter. A small thing, my friend. A trifle. The laser is nothing compared to my research. I am in your debt. Now, what else would you have of me? Okay, I've been thinking about what we talked about last time. Mind if I ask you a few questions? He tilts his head in acquiescence. Be my guest. I have no secrets to keep. Let's see here. About the drone self-repair system that you invented. How does it work? There were three distinct elements to my approach. When these elements were all working in concert, prototypes that utilized the process displayed remarkable self-repair capabilities. This may be a lengthy explanation. I can skim it over if you please, or I can break it down for you if you're genuinely interested. Okay, I'm a nerd. I want into this, so I want to know exactly. Give me the long version. I want to know how this process of yours works. He shifts his cigarette to one corner of his mouth. Very well, the long version it is. The first element of my process was an outer skin that the drone could be wrapped in, a refinement of older biomimetic self-healing materials modeled to emulate the self-repair capabilities of living beings. Imagine a polymer composite interlaced with microtubules, capillaries if you will. These vessels are capable of delivering bonding agents to the site of a wound as it occurs, thus healing it. I've heard of smart materials that operate on a similar principle. They've been around for decades, haven't they? Yes, though they remained uncommon until recently. As I said, my material was a refinement on those earlier designs. It was also only the first part of a system. The synergy between the three was what made the project work. The second element involved the underlying structure of the drone's architecture, the servos, gears, circuits, etc. Utilizing self-assembling materials and redundant systems, I created a system by which damaged components could be fabricated and replaced by the drone itself, without any need for human interference. Alright, so you have a self-healing skin and a self-replacing underlying structure. What was the third part? Finally, the system had a magical component. The corner of his mouth dips downward. I must confess a certain degree of ignorance when it comes to this portion of the project. I understand some of the theory behind what was done, but the specifics are beyond me. I'm surprised. I thought this was your process through and through. Oh, it is. I was the one who recognized the need for a magical component, but I feel no shame in admitting that I cannot understand the specifics. I have a mind for figures and physics and the natural world. Magic works according to a different set of principles altogether. Truth be told, it makes my head hurt. Okay, so why did you need this third component? You said that it was your idea. In layman's terms, a magical element was necessary to render the system self-perpetuating. Obviously, no purely mechanical system can repair itself indefinitely. The synthetic skin becomes more brittle with every wound it heals, and the automated assembly components will eventually run out of materials to work with. As a rule, fighting against entropy is a losing proposition. But with magic, we can rewrite the rules, weaken the grasp of those entropic forces to the point they are rendered negligible. Think of magic as the lubrication that keeps the gears turning. I wish that it weren't necessary, but I am also a realist, and I must confess it is required for the system to work. That's actually really cool. I like how they did that. Because, yeah, it's like it's got little mini fabricators in it, but eventually it'll run out of stuff. So the magic is what replenishes the basically the repairs of everything. Cool. And this technology that we recovered on the Ares run. Yes, that's right. My thanks to you again, my friend. I am in your eternal debt. All right. What do you think? What do you think a post-human future would mean? Freedom. He takes a long drag on his cigarette, sucking the smoke deep into his lungs. When he speaks, it erupts from his mouth in a plume. The ultimate freedom to direct your own progress and to steer ourselves as a people in whatever direction we wish. Consider, my friend, every aspect of Koshi was tailor-made for a purpose, dreamed up, designed, and built by a singular guiding intellect. All right, keep going. Now, think of the circumstances surrounding your own birth and the building blocks that shaped you into the man you are today. Your mother and father exchanged fluids, sloppily, no doubt, and with all the mindless abandon that such biological imperatives entail. Okay, when you say it like that, it doesn't sound as fun. Yeah, that might have been the ugliest description of sex I've ever heard. Ugly, perhaps, but accurate. Sexual intercourse is puberty sucks, man. Ooh, there we go. Sexual intercourse is an inarticulate process, a messy delivery system for genetic material spurred on by hormones and basic urges. Any attempt to guide the process on a societal level gets branded eugenics and decried as monstrous for obvious reasons. But I digress. The point I was making was that the forces that shaped you, and me, and anyone else you care to mention, were ultimately mindless ones, blind, manipulative biological drives that led to sperm and an egg to collide. Add in a roll of the dice and a dash of Mendelian genetics, and here you are. The natural process of evolution and sexual selection guide the development of our species through trial and error. Throw a few billion darts at the wall and see what sticks. In the future that I foresee, this process will be reined in, guided by our own controlling intellects. To co-opt an antiquated phrase, the myth of intelligent design will become a reality, but we'll be our own gods, reshaping ourselves as we see fit. That's interesting. Yeah, that kind of makes you think. If you're able to decide what your form is, like you want 4 arms, you want 6 legs, you want to be able to see in the dark, you want to be able to have echolocation. What's the morality of that? Would it be, if you're going to do it to someone else, clearly that's immoral and wrong. But if you wanted to do that for yourself, that poses an interesting question. If you're able to do that, literally pick whatever your physical form, whatever you want, and abilities, would that be wrong? That's actually a really interesting thought there. Like humanity, yeah, because you wouldn't even be considered human anymore at that point. So, okay, no, this game made me think. That's an actually interesting question. I'm having a hard time, like, right off the top of my head, like, saying, oh, this is wrong, because technically, it's like, well, propagation of the species. But, like, you'd be beyond that. At that point, you're no longer human. You're, I don't know what it would be, post-human. So, yeah. Interesting. I'll have to put more thought into that. If anybody has an opinion, and please throw it in the comments. Okay. He's not a mad scientist. Let's be clear. He's a mad engineer. There's a difference. He's actually practically building things. So, okay, sorry. My cat is not getting the hint right now that I don't want her on my desk. You have your own table. I give you a whole table. But no, don't do it. Really? Want to start something, cat? Here. That gets you. You have no defense against the I'm sorry. My cat wants to play and fight right now. She has no defense when I go and just blow. She doesn't know how to deal with it at all and makes her run away. Well, usually makes her run away. Oh my gosh, cat. We snuggled earlier. Come on. We will snuggle in a bit. I'm the boss. Thank you very much. I'm in charge. Okay. Tell me again, what does this have to do with post-humanism? Well, it has everything to do with it, but yeah, we'll go with that. Step back for a moment and imagine a future in which we have fully integrated with machines. Really imagine it. There will be no niche that we cannot fill. We can guide our own evolution, tailor ourselves to whatever environment we see fit. We will no longer be slaves to the selective processes that have dictated our development since time immemorial. Okay, this gets into my question. Let's say you're right. At what point do we cease being human and become something else instead? He shrugs. Whenever we choose to define ourselves in that way, humanity is an intrinsically human concept. If we decide to rebrand ourselves as a different species, that is our decision to make. I strongly suspect that nobody else would care. Let's see here. I'm going to say, so tell me, what do you want? What's the end game that you envision for us in this grand post-human future? Koshi rises itself up on its legs, stretching so that Raptor can caress its chassis. The motion is alarmingly fluid, more like a living thing than a machine. Raptor traces his fingertips over the drone's shell. His eyes focus on an imaginary point in the horizon. We have placed such unnecessary limitations on ourselves, my friend. It fills my heart with sorrow to know that what we could be, but are not. I would see those limits stripped away, peeled back, and discarded for the betterment of all. In the future that I foresee, we will open our eyes to the possibilities that surround us. Bodies reshaped to thrive in the deep ocean, in the depths of space. Bodies inspired by nature, or the human imagination, or both. Bodies that can be used and shed and used again, inhabited as their wearers see fit. The timely realization of such a future is what drives me forward. It is a cause to which I have devoted my life, and thankfully, it is inevitable. He tips a cigarette, sending ash spilling down onto the metal floor. Assuming, of course, we don't destroy ourselves first. There's a hard limit to the fusion of man and machine. Doesn't your vision of the future require us to get past that? You're speaking of the essence limit and the problems associated with essence loss. He releases a plume of smoke from the corner of his mouth. Yes, of course, it will be a problem. But as with all problems, a workaround will present itself. Of this, I am certain. What workaround? Essence loss will always be a problem. To deny that would be wishful thinking. Always is a dangerous word, my friend. I would encourage you to broaden your thinking. I am confident you will reach the same conclusion on your own. For the time being, let us leave the matter at that. Okay, let's see here. So in this post-human future that you're trying to bring about, what role would a drone like Koshi play? A similar one to the role that he plays now, I imagine. He was designed for a purpose, after all. That said, I can see the techniques that went into his design and fabrication having much broader ranging applications. You're pretty attached to that drone of yours, aren't you? You've even assigned a gender. You keep calling it him. Yes, of course. Koshi is very close to me. As if on cue, the drone scuttles forward, the hardened tips of its claws screeching across the metal floor of the shop. It comes up short just in front of you, a strange mechanical chitter rising from deep within its chassis. You might accuse me of anthropomorphizing. I think I got it on the first try. My little companion, assuming human characteristics to him where there in fact are none. Truth be told, there is much more to Koshi than meets the eye, but that's a different conversation, one best suited to be held for another time. Why? Why not talk about it now? Because I have work to do, and I'm sure that you can find better uses for your time than listening to me prattle on. He gestures toward the hatch in the ceiling. And with that, I'm afraid I must ask you to show yourself out. We can continue our talk at a later time. All right, Ractor, we'll talk later. Good night. Okay. I am the one in charge, cat. Alright, so we're going to save there. And then we're going to talk... Oh, no. You don't bite cords. You know better than that. Sorry about that. Let's go talk to Gaichu. Let's check his memento box. Okay, glancing through the box of mementos, you spot a few hitherto unseen items lying near the surface of Gaichu's mess of knickknacks. A pair of chopsticks with stained tips and a torn out page from a book covered in Japanese writing. Chopsticks. Sorry, my cat is just going weird right now. The chopsticks are a simple affair. Black lacquer, obviously cheap and mass-produced. Whatever reason Gaichu has for keeping them, it isn't their age or quality. Taking a closer look at the chopsticks, it becomes apparent that they have seen some use. The lacquer near the tips is chipped and flaking away, revealing the wood beneath. The wood itself is stained a dark brown and is encrusted with something. Why did you keep these chopsticks? Okay, so it's either like lipstick or he killed somebody with them. That's what I'm guessing. Gaichu bursts into unexpected laughter, almost dropping his sword as he doubles over. He manages to gasp out a sentence for a long moment. Oh my goodness, I had forgotten those were in the box. He takes a few deep breaths, composing himself. Raising his sword, Gaichu returns to his practice. Tell me, have you ever heard of Tetsuya Nakamura? Doesn't ring a bell. He was a member of Shawazei's upper management for many years, running most of Shawazei's Envirotech agricultural development. A very bright star in the corporate world. He died in 2052, and those chopsticks are what I killed him with. Knew it! Well, I had a 50% chance. Chopsticks? Really? They were the closest thing to a weapon I had at hand. Nakamura took his security very seriously and employed several highly augmented bodyguards. It was only through several months of extensive planning that we were able to get near him at all. When faced with a challenge, one is often forced to improvise with what is at hand. We had studied Nakamura's schedule painstakingly, particularly his twice-monthly trips to Neo-Tokyo. In Osaka, Shiwazei's presence would have made any attempt in his life functionally impossible. In Neo-Tokyo, though, in studying his movement patterns, we discovered that he would eat at a particular French restaurant in Ginza every second trip, at precisely 8:30 in the evening. It seemed that he had a secret lover who lived in Roppongi, and he was visiting him during his business trips. Owing to this secrecy, he would give his bodyguards the night off when the two met. The restaurant in question was famous for its molecular gastronomy and the precision of their chefs, not to mention the view from the 38th floor. We managed to secure reservations near Nakamura's usual table, but only for two of us. It was decided that Sasaki and I would be the pair to kill Nakamura. Ishida and Omori would wait one floor below, and Takawa would keep watch from a nearby skyscraper. We carried small but high-powered pistols, as well as tactical knives. We expected it to be easy. So what went wrong? As I rose to draw my pistol on Nakamura, his lover somehow knew what was happening. He shrieked bloody murder and burst into flames. We discovered after the fact that he was a very powerful mage, but we hadn't discovered this in our surveillance. Somehow he managed to throw a barrier over the two of them that deflected my bullets. When I pulled my knife, it had turned red hot. I was forced to drop it. Sasaki engaged him in a contest of wills. I am not sure how that kind of magic works, but could not shatter his barrier. She was too busy dodging the lightning bolts he was throwing, and since the flames had set off the fire system, well, it was not easy. Nakamura broke and ran, and I pursued him. He had a small holdout pistol, a PB-120 or something similar, and I grabbed the nearest weapon I could find. Gaichu gestures towards you with the tip of his swords. Those chopsticks. I slid them up into his brainstem through the trachea. He died without making a sound. Not that it would have been able to hear it over the sound of Amori's machine gun rattling away one floor below. Apparently, the bodyguards were not truly given the night off and were still nearby. How did you get out? With the windows blown out, we fast roped down the side of the building and disappeared into the night. It was not the cleanest job, but it was very memorable. I still remember the smell. Ozone, Bechamel, mixing with the cordite and Veuve Clicquot. Again, I have to do this every episode. I apologize for destroying names and languages. I'm doing my best. I am sorry. All right. Veuve Clicquot. I've heard that. Veuve Clicquot? Is it Veuve? Veuve Clicquot. Well, I don't know. Examine the page. The page is old and highly stylized calligraphy is handwritten. The style is so artistic, in fact, as to be functionally illegible to you. This page seems to be missing the book, Gaichu. Gaichu nods in agreement and steps forward to deliver a crosscut in the air in front of him. Yes, but that page is all that I wanted from the book. I look out from the cloudless mountain at moonlight on the sea, its islands so many rents in a sheet of ice. Gaichu pivots on the ball of his heel, thrusting the tip of his sword into the darkness of the room. The poet Saigyo. He was a master of conveying a sense of solitude and emptiness, and I've always found that poem to echo what I feel in myself. Are you the mountains or the islands? So often it feels as if I'm contained within a ball of ice, floating through the void of this life, cold and solitary. The moments I can share with those who have truly mattered to me chip through that frost and let me scream out that I am not alone. No. Okay, let's actually go talk to him. The cabin is silent aside from the occasional swish of air as Gaichu steps through sword forms. He holds each stance for a few seconds, practicing a given swing a few times before switching to the next. Hello, Yemmer. A single bead of sweat rolls down Gaichu's temple as he holds his position. After a few moments, he shifts to a relaxed stance, starting the form again. Pardon me for continuing my exercises. I feel that I have been letting them slip of late. Don't you ever stop practicing? No. I aim to achieve perfection, and I must work against my current handicap to regain the level of control that I once possessed. I am stronger and faster than I once was, but I need to learn to use my new senses more effectively in order to bring those advantages to bear. Gaichu lifts his sword, offering it edge first toward you. Do you see that edge? Forged by one of the finest swordsmiths in modern Japan. Diamond-coated edge, capable of cutting even the most hardened ceramic armors. But what good is a sharpened edge without the precision to apply it? When I was still a man, I could have cut a single pea in half with my eyes closed. Oddly, after becoming blind, I cannot replicate this feat. Running the back of a claw along the blade's surface, Gaichu smiles thinly. I think soon I will be able to perform this feat again. I simply have to train my body to ignore the senses that it no longer has and pay attention to the new ones. Now, what is it you would like to discuss? Any thoughts about that last run? A good run, I think. Unexpected complications, perhaps, but all told, we were quite successful. With any luck, the Red Dragon will be paid a visit by knight-errant security, and soon. Despite the other team, we sowed enough chaos that I doubt that Ares will realize our deception. I think giving the other Shadowrunners the laser may have been the wisest course of action in the long run. The Shadows do not forget favors like that, and help in a time of difficulty is often the difference between life and death. Besides, I doubt we need another weapon. We are quite effective as it is. Is there anything else I can do for you? Has it been difficult to learn to fight while blind? It is not the easiest thing I've attempted, but neither is it the hardest. Placing his sword off to one side, Gaichu turns to face you. Emptiness is form is one of the great lessons of the Hagakure. Trained sufficiently and both swordsmanship and obedience will come instinctively. That is the closest to perfection a man can attain. Ooh. Does that mean in a perfect world you would have killed yourself when you got infected? If an order should be unjust or foolish, it should not be followed. To waste a skilled warrior, as they would have by killing me, it is unacceptable. Obedience without a thought is to be cultivated, but so is the moral fortitude to know when to disagree. When I was new to the unit, I thought to be a good samurai was the ultimate goal. That to serve justly with dedication was the greatest honor a warrior could have. We were all young and foolish once, I suppose. So what changed your mind? Beyond my disease? There was a fight in Fukuoka. My former team ambushed me. It had a singular effect on my worldview. We were taught that we were superior to everyone. That once we were pure humans and Japanese, we would always win. I believe that most never questioned the validity of this claim, even when confronted with direct evidence to the contrary. Tell me about your old unit ambushed you. Very well. Gaichu draws his nails over his scalp, sighing. My time in Fukuoka was tense. Since leaving Kaihanshin, I had been careful to stay out of sight by moving on foot or in the back of automated delivery vans. I was running out of food, however, and needed to be in a city for that. Sorry, just a minute, everybody. My cat is going a little crazy on my desk. Because I'm in charge. I think if I say it enough times, somebody might believe it. All right. Fukuoka was just big enough to get lost in, but not so large that a ghoul sighting could go unnoticed. I hid in abandoned buildings and storm drainage systems, and for 2 weeks I managed to stay hidden. The strain of having to constantly move was wearing on me, however. I made a mistake. What happened? I had to get out of Japan, but all of my contacts in Fukuoka had come up empty-handed when I asked for a way to China. I was running low on money, and I could feel the team catching up with me. A contact of mine in Kumamoto owed me a favor and arranged passage for me if I could reach the city in 48 hours. Gaichu closes his eyes, resting his face in one palm. If I had taken my time, I could have made it to Kumamoto without an incident. But I let caution slip when I got his email. I thought that if I disguised myself, I could take the train there and get out before my unit got any closer to finding me. I still don't know how they found me. Magical tracking, perhaps, or simply a well-developed spy network. Regardless, they found me. They were waiting for me at Hakata Station. It was an ambush. That's a very public place for an ambush. It is. I suspected their orders were clear, however. Do whatever it takes to kill me. Civilians expendable. For units like the Red Samurai, ordinary laws do not apply. The mission's success is the only concern. I had taken steps to disguise myself as best I could, relying on the sheer number of people to conceal my presence. I suspected that the team might attack while I was in public, but I did not realize just how expendable the civilians were. When they blew the C4 charges over the station's western entrance just to box me in, I realized how much I had underestimated them. I assumed that a train had derailed, honestly, but then I smelled the telltale acrid vapor of the explosives. Gaichu wrinkles his nose at the memory. Once you smell it, you never forget it. The plastic explosive that we use has a particularly sharp odor, like old cheese. Something to do with an olfactory tagant added to help track it if it is stolen. I remember stumbling through the dust and debris, trying to find my way to the rail platforms. They attacked from all sides, using the confusion to strike at once. I could hear Ishida and Takawa behind me. Aomori and Sasaki charged out of an access corridor just ahead of where I'd been standing. Sasaki threw a firewall down behind me, cutting off retreat while Aomori started firing. That's a nasty situation to be caught in. One of the worst. Confining space, facing a mage and a heavy gunner, those are losing odds, even if the attackers are ordinary mercenaries. I did the only thing I could think of. I charged Aomori and Sasaki. They were only 15 meters away from me. The only advantage I had was that they were as blinded by the dust as I was, but I could still hear and smell them. Sasaki threw a lightning bolt at me, but I managed to roll under it. As I came up, Aomori's light machine gun was swiveling down. I felt time stretch out as I stared down the barrel. I caught Aomori in the throat with the tip of my sword. It was a maneuver I'd practiced hundreds of times before. There was no resistance as I cut through his trachea, and he fell as I rolled to the side. I could hear him choking for breath as he dropped. Gaichu exhales a humorless laugh and shakes his head. It's strange to think how clear that memory is, even now. He was your friend. That kind of thing will stick with you. Gaichi snorts, waving a hand dismissively. Spare me the 2 Nuyen psychiatry. Obviously, what you say is true, but the memory sticks with me so strongly for another reason. It was in that strike I realized who I truly was. My whole time with the Red Samurai, I had focused on ensuring that I was worthy of the team. Everyone felt that way, but I felt it more acutely than most. I've always wanted to be the best, the fastest, the most precise. In the Red Samurai, I felt to be less than perfect would be to let the team down. We were always told how lucky we were to have been accepted into the unit. The moment my sword struck Aomori, I knew that I would survive the fight. They attacked me as they would an animal. They seemed to be counting on herding me into Takagawa and Ishida. Aomori didn't even try to get out of the way of my sword strike. I recall his eyes going wide. He looked surprised that I was using a weapon and not my claws. They underestimated you. Gaichu nods sharply. They thought they were fighting a beast. I would never have underestimated them as they did me. All the lessons I taught them about close combat, thrown out the window as soon as their preconceptions entered the battlefield. Disgraceful. As I killed Aomori, I realized that it was not that I was unworthy of the Red Samurai, but that they were unworthy of me. What did it mean that I, an infected monster that was less than a beast, could still defeat the finest soldiers in the world? Red Samurai doctrine taught Aomori and the others not to fear me, and this overconfidence would be their death. I realized I had progressed beyond their ability to understand. My sword was as accurate as ever, but could not account for it due to ideological blindness. That's the danger of letting ideology overrule facts. Precisely. All those years, I was worried I was not good enough to be a member of the Red Samurai, that somehow they had been pulling my weight. But I had been blind to all of the ways in which we were not training or had avoided the harsh truth about our own abilities. We were so often told of our own excellence that I wondered if we had ever been truly tested. Sasaki was the next to fall. As I turned away from Aomori, I realized she must have seen me strike him. Her eyes were wide, and I could feel her fear and anger as she tried to summon another spell. She seemed caught between healing Aomori and attacking me. Gaichu taps himself on the forehead, just above his right eye. It was there, on Sasaki. A downward stroke, from Jodan's stance. She had hesitated, just as Aomori had. I felt the breath go out of her, like someone had deflated a tire. She just slid down into a pile. I think she was trying to ask me how when I ran. What about Ishida and Takagawa? My goal was survival, not victory. Takagawa was far too away, and I did not see Ashita. I only smelled him, so I ran. The trains had been shut down due to the explosion, but as long as I could get out of Hakata Station, I knew I could escape. They did not follow me out into the city proper. From what I heard via the Matrix, the event was reported as a terrorist attack that was thwarted by brave Renraku soldiers. Gaichu snorts, lips curling downward. Brave, foolish soldiers. If you killed 2 of them, why are they still hunting you? Gaichu does not answer immediately. He seems uneasy with the question, fidgeting with his fingers. I am unsure why that would make a difference. Can you explain what you're driving at? If you train with your unit so extensively, won't it be impossible to replace the ones you killed? Ah, I see. I think your mistake is in seeing this from a practical perspective. The problem is emotional, not mechanical. Folding his arms over his chest, Gaichu continues to explain. The nature of Red Samurai assignments is such that losses are generally 0, or the entire team. In those rare cases when Red Samurai teams suffer partial losses, the remnants of the impacted teams are shuffled together and undergo retraining. Sasaki and Aomori will undoubtedly be replaced. The problem is that I cannot be replaced. Simply put, I am not dead. Ordinarily, a missing Red Samurai would be considered dead for the purposes of reorganizing teams, but Renraku knows precisely what has happened to me. What's more, my failure to do my duties reflects badly on the unit. Others will undoubtedly resist joining my former squad as it has been tainted. So until they kill you, nobody wants to join their club. Gaichu nods his assent. Yes, that is the case. They cannot move forward and rebuild the core of the unit unless I die, both because of their own expectations and the stain on their honor. Even if they accepted my decision, the rest of the Red Samurai would not. They have hunted me in Japan, Shanghai, and Beijing, and now I am certain they hunt me here in Hong Kong. The cycle will continue endlessly for the foreseeable future. Such is the way of things. Wouldn't it be easier if you faced them down rather than run? How do you mean? I have faced them several times in the past, in Fukuoka and in Shanghai. Unless you have a deeper meaning, I am unaware of. I have already done as you suggested. I'm going to say you're simply letting them come after you. Take the fight to them. Gaichu pulls back as if you slapped him. What do you suggest? That I hunt them down while they sleep and murder them in cold blood? Ooh. I'm going to say you define yourself by your opposition to your old life. What? Blinking a few times, Gaichu leans closer to you. I am unsure that I clearly understand your meaning. Can you explain yourself more clearly? Think about it. You get to live life as the Ronin Red Samurai, unfairly cast out by his unit. Ah, and you believe that absent that opposition, I would have little to define myself. That is very cheap philosophy, Yemmer, and unworthy of you. Prove me wrong. Who are you without your unit? Drawing himself up and puffing out his chest, Gaichu glares at you. You tell me, what do you see? I am the creature that stands in front of you. What is it that I am, in your opinion? A free man who can choose to live as he pleases. Yes, that is what I am. So why is that you do not accept that this is what I want? Wait. So why is it that you do not accept that this is what I want I am doing? I seek to perfect myself, my skills, and my abilities in combat. Perhaps this is not the path I would have walked when I was younger, but I have been a soldier for so long that I cannot imagine devoting myself to any other trade. This does not mean I am tied inextricably to my unit. It simply means I am shaped by my history, as are we all. I appreciate your concern about my history and my unit, but I assure you, I am doing all right. I must learn to adapt to my new condition and lifestyle on my own. The time will come when they find me in Hong Kong. What does perfecting yourself mean to you, anyway? I do not know. I am certain that sounds like an evasion, but it's not. There is no roadmap for being a ghoul who is also a freelance killer. I only know that my instincts are stronger now than they were when I was an ordinary man. Because of this, I must learn to make my own way in this world. There is no older teaching for me to reach for. Gaichu suddenly cocks his head. Is this why you are so concerned about my history with the Red Samurai? Of course, I want you to make the most of your new life. Gaichu blinked several times, his surprise evident. That is remarkably kind of you, Yemmer. Were this a year or more ago, I would not believe you. After having seen how you handled the Wampoans, however, I do. I am no longer simply a man. This is a fact of my life. I am beyond that. I do not know if I am better for it, but I know that I am different for it. The fact that I am different, however, cannot be denied. I put a question to you then. If you had been changed into a ghoul, what would you do? How would you improve yourself and learn to live with your condition? Ooh, tough question. I'm going to say make the best use of my new abilities. Adapt with it and work forward. Make the best use of my new abilities. Change is power. This is how I see things as well. If I am to exceed my previous abilities, I must learn to make use of my new body and understand its limitations. Without that, I will simply be a shadow of who I was. The changes are not only physical, as I mentioned before. My mind is more instinctive now, and reasoning is more difficult. I tend to react quickly without thought, but that also generally will turn the tide in my favor. Gaichu squares himself, nodding several times as if agreeing with his own internal dialogue. Warriors must learn to push their body and soul to the utmost limit. So too it is with me. But my body and soul are no longer that of a man. I must learn to use these differences as an advantage rather than a handicap. Perfection is not a destination, it is a journey. One must strive to become the purest form of oneself that one can be. All right. So what will you do about your unit when they come looking for you in Hong Kong? I am unsure. You have given me a great deal to consider, and I do not mean that lightly. There are several actions and possible outcomes I foresee. I could, as I have before, relocate to another city. Flee Hong Kong, travel to somewhere further afield. Lagos, perhaps, or Montreal. It would have to be someplace where Renraku's influence was minimal, and where the unit's presence would be immediately noticeable. This has been my plan of action in the past. I could also keep a low profile, staying here. Hope that they are unable to find precisely where I am hiding. Undoubtedly, Ishida would command the team to keep looking. I believe it would only be a matter of time before they found me. But if it were a sufficiently long time, they might get recalled. I could also confront them, draw them out into the open at a time and place of my choosing. They are nothing if not predictable in their efforts to follow Red Samurai operational doctrine. That plan could succeed, but could also put you and civilians at risk, and I am unsure how I would draw them out in the first place. I'm going to say you need to find a way to fight them because they seem incredibly tenacious. You need to find a way to fight them. Because I'm here and I'll help you. Gaichu sighs, shoulders slumping a little. I am unsure if that is the wisest course of action. I'm going to need to think about this a great deal. Please let me think on this. I will have an answer later. Sure thing. I'll talk to you later. Okay, cool. I like that everybody has their own little personal mission. And I'm really interested in Gaiku. I like his character story. All the characters have really great stories, I gotta admit. I'm really enjoying all the background. Hey, Duncan, what do you got? You walk into a mess. Half-eaten cans of food litter the floor, and personal equipment is strewn about in a haphazard fashion. Amid the mess, Wu sits in his bunk with his back against the wall. He has a PDA in his hands, and he's staring down at it, sullen and morose. He doesn't acknowledge your entry. Want me to come back later? Doesn't matter. He doesn't look up. Go, stay, whatever. I'm assuming you're here to talk. Come on, what'd you think about the last run? That I didn't take you on. Wasn't on the last run, Bubba. I assume it came out okay since you're here to talk about it. Anyway, enough about that. Need anything else? Okay, I like that. Because in the previous games, if you ask, what do you think about the last run? Whether they were in the run or not, they had something to say. I like the game reflects like, I didn't go, so I don't know. What are you looking at on the PDA? A video of Edward saying. Can I see it? Sure, why not? Wu taps a button and turns the PDA around so you can see it. The footage shows a serious Chinese man in an expensive suit sitting behind a large solid wood desk covered in blueprints. The man is holding a magnifying glass over one of the plans and studying it intently. He folds the blueprint over and checks the one beneath it. The nameplate on the desk reads, Edward Sang, Vice President of Special Projects. The video is rough and contains no sound. It may have been footage for a documentary that was never completed. The next shot is from some sort of planning meeting in a glass-enclosed conference room. The serious man is sitting at the conference table, pointing to a large map and looking up at the men standing around him. He is explaining something. They look at each other and nod, clearly impressed by what he has to say. The whiteboard at the end of the room bears the words, groundbreaking, 21st May, 2022, written in bold characters, Raymond's writing. Okay, so at the time of this recording, that was a year ago. The footage cuts to a scene of two people talking at the end of a long hallway. They don't appear to know that they're being recorded. It's a serious man listening intently to what an older woman has to say, nodding with his arms crossed and his thumbs at his lips. His thumb and his lips. The woman is the same one that was in the taped video call that Kindly Chang showed you. Josephine Sang. She is somewhere in her late middle age, beautiful and very clearly in charge. The two look up at the same time, see the camera, and begin waving their hands for it to be turned off. The woman appears angry, but cold. The video ends, and Wu puts the PDA face down on his bunk. Wu shrugs his shoulders, searches your eyes. Who is that guy? I don't know anymore. Yeah, me either. Maybe when we found the plastic-faced man, we'll get some answers. Until then, Raymond Black is Raymond Black, and this guy is someone else. Been thinking about the way you and Raymond used to butt heads. What about it? I think that's one of the reasons you were angry with me when I left. I had a better relationship with him. You didn't have a better relationship with him. Raymond and I were tight. You just knew how to avoid conflict better than I did. That's not the same thing. You had that way of diffusing him when he started to do that intense array thing he used to do, remember? Intense array. I haven't thought of that in a long time. I think you were the one who came up with that name. It was like the summer after we started living with them in Miss Maloney. Ray found out we hadn't followed one of his rules. I don't remember which. There was a long list. I think that was when he found out you had broken his no dating until you graduate rule. No, that wasn't about David. That was the following summer. I think it was about smoking. Yeah, that's right. I was smoking, and he was pissed and said that fat kids who smoke die faster. So just to be obstinate, I told him I liked to smoke, and we got into it. Then you came in and diffused the whole situation. Wu stops talking, and his expression becomes thoughtful. I think that's why I was so resentful when you took off, especially after Miss Maloney died. You were the only one who could get through to him when he became intense array. I did have a talent for getting Raymond to calm down when you two started going at it. Especially that last time, the week you left. Wu's expression hardens and he picks up the PDA gun. I don't want to talk about it anymore, Bubba. I've got enough on my mind as it is. Stuff like my father betraying my trust. Okay, good talk. Well, I just want to make sure. Yep, gotta take a talk to you later. All right, let's go talk to Isabel and Gobbet. And we'll save. Let's go talk to Isabel. Isabel glances up at you, her expression grim. Yemmer, I've come to a decision. I want these memories out of my head. They're an unpleasant distraction, and I was happier without them. When this is all over, I'm deleting them. To hell with locking them away again. I'm going to purge my childhood altogether, shred the memories, and move on. As an added bonus, it'll clear up a lot of headwear memory. I'm thinking that I could store some SimSense recordings up there. Maybe make it so when I try to remember my past, I get summers on the beach instead of sorrow and pain. Ooh, wow, this is another tough thing. So she has incredibly traumatic childhood that she intentionally locked away and recently got them back, and now has again decided, nope, I knew why I put them in there, but now she wants to delete them completely. So honestly, I'm going to leave it up to her because I don't know the memories. For me, it's an academic thing. So I can't say, oh yeah, all that huge, massive childhood trauma you went through, you need to hold on to that. The whole, it builds character. Well, I don't know about that. I'm going to say they're an adult. They know what they were like with the memories and without the memories. So I'm going to say it's up to her. If you think that'd make you happy, then I say do it. They're your memories and it's your decision. You're damn right it is. These memories can still help us, so I'll tough my way through it for now, but when this is all over, they're going the way of the dodo, period. She squeezes her eyes shut, rubs the bridge of her nose between her thumb and forefinger. Anyway, I guess you're here with more questions, right? Let's get them answered then. Well, first, last run. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. Mostly because with Ares, the alternative is leaving in a body bag, especially when you're stealing a prototype laser. Good pay for a night's work, and that's what this business is all about. If you can walk away and get paid, it's been a good job. I kind of wish we'd kept that laser because, hey, it's a laser. That's awesome. But you did the decent thing, really. You helped those runners out and let them keep their rep, and both of us could get paid. That's a good quality in a team leader, and I'm glad I've got you running the show. Well, thank you, Isabel. Anything else you want to know? I have a question about the walled city. All right, go ahead. Is there anything else you can tell me about the Yama Kings? Yeah, I've got another one for you if you want it. I can't say whether this is based on any kind of truth or not. That's for you to decide. But it was always popular when I was growing up, especially with the other kids my age. You'll see why we liked it in the end. All right, lay it on me. Okay, this one was about a boy named Gordon Yam and how he saved his mother from a fate worse than death. As the story goes, Gordon was the cleverest boy in the walled city. He could steal whatever he liked without getting caught, could sneak into any room unseen, and could talk his way past any grown-up that might try and stop him. You get the picture, a real hero figure for the 9-year-old set. So one day, Gordon's mother fell ill. It was a bloody flux brought on by a curse, and it was going to kill her. She told Gordon that he should accept her death. The curse had come from a Yama King, and there was no medicine that could prevent it from claiming her. She begged him to run, to escape the walled city. and to use his cleverness to make a life for himself somewhere far away. Gordon loved his mother, and he refused to obey her request. Instead, he searched high and low for a way to save her life. For a long time, nothing came to him. But finally, he happened upon an old man who told him about a powerful Yama King that could cure any ill for a price. Which Yama King? One of the ones that you've told me about, or a different one? Different. He doesn't have a name, or he did, but it was because of what happened, speaking it is taboo. The story's a little fuzzy on the details. We always just called him the Nameless King. So Gordon went out in search of the Nameless King. He made his way through Triad territory, past the Thrill Gangers and the Organ Leggers. You know the drill. Eventually, he made it to the inner walled city, where he found the Nameless King's court. The human servants of the Nameless King took Gordon to stand before the creature they worshipped, and Gordon proposed his deal. Nameless King, he said, I need your help. My mother is dying of an ill that only you can cure. That may be so, said the Nameless King, but what is it to me? What will you offer me if I spare her? If you will restore her to health, I will join your court in repayment. I, the cleverest boy in the walled city, I will serve you loyally and well. The Nameless King was excited then, for he knew of Gordon's cleverness, and he coveted the little boy's soul. Gordon pulled the braid of his mother's hair from his pocket and held it out before the Nameless King. A lock of my mother's hair, O King, he said. Cure her of this flux, and I'm yours to command as you please. The Nameless King worked his magic, and Gordon's mother was cured. So what happened then? Did Gordon join the Nameless King's court? No. When the Nameless King turned on Gordon, he laughed in the monster's face. I have tricked you, Nameless King, for my mother was the property of another of your kind. In curing her, you have robbed a Yama King of his dinner. The Nameless King raged and turned on Gordon, his razor blade fingers flexing wide. But before he could bring his arm down in a killing stroke, it was caught in the grasp of 1,000 hooks, claws, and fangs. The Yama Kings, all of them. You have stolen from one of your own kind, brother, said the Yama Kings. Her life was not yours to save. Gordon slipped away as the Yama Kings descended on their brother. He did not watch as they tore the Nameless King apart and bathed in his steaming viscera. He made his way back home to his mother, who was cured. And that was the one time that a living boy outwitted a Yama King. She stretches, cracking her back, clears her throat awkwardly. And that's the story. Like I said, you can see why we liked it. It's basically a fairy tale, and the little boy wins in the end. It's the only story about the Yama Kings that contains even a shred of hope. What do you think it means? I don't know. Probably doesn't mean anything. It's just a story is all. You're the one who asked. Anyway, is there anything else you wanted to know? That's all for now. Please, to be honest, almost anything else would be preferable. Oh, okay. I gotta go as well. Sure, drop by anytime. Alright, we're gonna save that. And then let's go talk to Gobbet, get another shadow running lesson. Wait, where's Gobbet? She's gone, Yammer. I don't know where she ran off to, but she looked upset. She just said something about friends in trouble, then left. By the time I could disconnect from the octopus, she was out. She was on her way out of town. She must have gone back to the sinking ship. I don't like the sound of that. She tell you what went down there, out there all of those years ago? The mutiny. Yeah, and she's been having bad dreams about the place ever since. Isabel turns her back and begins grabbing her gear. Well, we better go and get her, hadn't we? Yeah, let's do it. I'm going to arrange transport out to Hung Hom Bay. You come meet me at the docks when you're ready. Yes, we are going to do that after I talk to everybody else. But, yeah, that's definitely going to be any quests relating to the team. I'm trying to prioritize. Okay. I think I need some med kits, though. Yeah, I've just got a couple tier 2s. So we're going to go around, talk to people. Let's talk to Crafty, otherwise known as Meow. Oh, Algernon's gone. Back so soon? Tell me what you need, and I'll see what I can do. You look dog tired. Feeling all right? Crafty lets out a single sharp laugh. I've been better, if that's what you mean. Going through these notebooks has been hard, not just because of the sheer amount of information. It's been a nostalgic ride, too. If these journals are kicking your ass, you can always stop. Your health comes first. No way. I've dug myself too deep to back out now. And don't say that as a bad thing. I've made progress. I'm proud of that. She leans on a book-covered chair. The sooner I figure out these dreams, the sooner I can rest. And trust me, Yemmer, I'll make up for it in spades and naps. Wait, this seems familiar. Just don't work yourself to death. That wouldn't achieve much, would it? And it isn't all bad. These journals are just as exciting as they are laborious. So what's the latest? The latest? She walks over to a glass table and starts tossing books off of it. As she digs through them, you realize the table is not actually a table, but a glass display case. Yeah, we already read this. Give me the highlights. Got a couple of big finds. Mom notes are a mess, so I boiled them down to the most important information. An exorcism and the Yama Kings. Where do you want to start? Exorcism. Okay, yeah, we've already read these. Hold on. Okay. Yeah. Key, the energy. How'd that go? Yeah. And then she grew paranoid because she got infected with the exorcism. Okay, yeah, we already read all these. I can't get out of it. Okay. Hold on. Can you send me a copy of those notes? Crafty taps her finger to her nose. Already a step ahead of you. I just finished digitally transcribing the information. I'll send it your way. She looks around the book cover top. As soon as I find my terminal. Thanks, Crafty. You're welcome. Expect them soon. Okay, I'll let you get back to it. Sounds like a plan. See you soon. Okay, that was weird. That whole dialogue we had already done. Let's see. Let's talk to the 3 Go players down here. See if they've got anything new. Egg a car, leave us alone. Okay, gotta run. That's all the same dialogue. Now let's talk to Reliable Matthew. Alright. Yimmer, here's looking at you. Reliable Matthew gives you a big wink and shooter grin. Or shooter sign. His eyes don't seem to reflect the emotion, as usual. You in the market for high-powered grade A autonomous helpers? Or are you just here to hang out? Because if you're just here to hang out, Matthew's synthetic personality seems to flicker for a moment. His expression pulses back and forth between smarmy cheer and something like shy happiness. That'd be okay by me. Just hanging out, Matthew. Good to see you. Right on, beautiful. Right on. Reliable Matthew smiles blissfully, looking around at the docks. He admires the looming, oppressive mass of the walled city. Take your time. Make yourself at home. I'll be right here if you need anything. He flashes you a big smile, exaggerated and fake-looking, yet also somehow genuine. Genuine. It's good having you around. Sorry about that. Okay, now I want to look at the drones. All right, baby. We can get the big stuff. All right. Offers ground-based firepower. It's like having another runner on the team. Hold on. Okay, so this is similar, but it's close range. It's got a shotgun. This one's a medic kind of thing. Honestly, Steel Lynx Mark II, man. Let's go with that. We'll buy that. And then actually, is this the Mark II? Yeah. We'll put that in. And then we're actually going to sell our Doberman. Where is he? Oh, no, wait. Stash. We're going to keep the sniper, but yeah, we'll go ahead and sell the Doberman. There we go. And then... Okay, we've got the 6 armor. Good. Okay. Good talking, Matthew. All right. The Steel Lynx Mark II. Got that. He doesn't fly, but that's okay. Let's go talk to Kindly Chang, or see what's going on in here, if anything. Oh yeah, she's not here, and we've already talked to him, so... Alright. Let's go talk to... Spider Chen. We really don't have anything to do with them. They really don't add anything, but it's nice. As you approach Shen's boat, you spot a number of children peeking out of the below decks area. They're dressed in ratty clothing with stained and tattered shirts. All the same, they look well fed and healthy, albeit a bit grimy. As soon as they spot you, they disappear into the below decks. Shen nods to you before calling out to the depths of the boat. Make sure the bilge pump is reconnected after you re-oil it. I don't want to slowly sink to the bottom of the river because you decided to cut corners. There's no response from below. Shen simply chuckles, turning around to face you. They're not the most skilled assistants, but I like being able to help keep them fed. What can I do for you? Where'd you find the kids? I didn't. They found me. Shen shrugs and grins crookedly. They heard about the triad monk who will feed kids in exchange for odd jobs. After meeting the rest of my crew, I think they got a little bit infatuated. They think I don't hear it when they play at being Spider Shen and White Ming. But I do. That's cute. Yeah, I think so too. That's why I look the other way. I don't want to embarrass them. Besides, it's kind of flattering to have them look up to me, my very own fan club. Shen smiles faintly. I remember what it was like to be those kids. Nobody cares if you live or die, so I told myself that when I started to make it, I'd give back to the community. That's how the triad started, you know. Self-protection and community service. If we can't help out our community, we're no better than the megas. Here I was thinking you were a bad monk. Shen snorts. I am a bad monk, sure. I meditate and say the sutras, but that whole vow of nonviolence thing's the lesson I keep forgetting. What it comes down to, though, is that I don't care. I didn't become a monk because I was a true believer. I did it because it was a ticket out of the gutter. The skills I learned there, I can use to improve things here. Shen leans back against the cages, arms folded. So it's an altruism thing? You're at the edge of the walled city, Yummer. That's the kind of hellhole that gets created when we let the megas get their way. I've had people moralize and preach to me about being a better person. To hell with that. Shen spits off the side of the boat, scowling. You know what happens to nice people who aren't rich? They get killed. They get kidnapped. They get taken advantage of and shoved in a dark hole that they can't climb out of, just because it saves a few pennies for somebody who already has wealth beyond measure. So I figure the moral thing to do is put an iron spike right in every one of those bastards' foreheads. The corporate bigwigs, the corrupt cops, the slave traders. I have the skills to protect my friends. I'm not ashamed to use them. Okay, that's all for now. Good talk. All right. Wait, who's this? This is Human Transient. The Gemmarine Transient wheels to face you, his eyes bulging out of his skull. He's a young man, probably in his late 30s, but his hair has gone bone white. He reaches towards you with hands hooked into claws, and his entire body begins to tremble. You've seen them. I know it. I can smell it on you. He reaches his hands to his face and claws at his cheeks, his fingernails digging into his flesh. The devils, the ones that are coming, and the runt that leads the pack. Another transient glances over to you. He got into town yesterday, came in on the same boat that we did. Seemed normal enough at the time, but now he's stark raving mad. I am not mad. His voice rises into a scream. I've seen them. They're coming. They're on their way here now. Tell me what you've seen. His breath comes in fits and gasps. He claws at his throat and his words lower to a whisper. There are hundreds, all different, but all the same. A giant with the legs of a boar and the jaws of a baboon. A woman in jade and gold with 100 blind eyes. A runt at the head of the pack, slim and beautiful, with arms like jaws and an ivory crown. Tears spill down his cheeks as he sobs piteously. They run in rivulets into the gashes that he tore in his cheeks. They're all coming, all clawing at the gate. She is already slipping through. He seizes up mid-sentence. His eyes roll back into his head and he falls to the pavement. When he hits the ground, he doesn't get up. He isn't breathing. I think he's dead. We'll check the man's pulse. You kneel and press your fingers to the fallen man's neck. Nothing. The transient stares down at the fallen man's body, her brow furrowed. To hell with this place. I'm getting out of here. I know that's none of my business, but you should do the same. I'd love to, but I can't. She shrugs. Your call. Best of luck. Okay, so a dude just died there. Alright. Alright. Let's talk to... This isn't Frederick. Callum's inside. Freddy looks sullen at the club front entrance, and sullen on the young troll takes the form of careless indifference for the face he uses to get pat down and propel forward the patrons entering the place. Welcome to Club 88. No killing, no fighting, no sex trade. Careful, Freddy. You'll give someone a concussion. Or a broken rib. Or a dislocated shoulder. Fuck it. What does it matter? Things might be better if I drove everyone off and shut this place down. Can't be forced to stay a bouncer if there are no bums to bounce, right? It might just force the rest of them to take a hard look in the mirror. My ma could stop worrying about bills and inventories and all that crap. Callum could finally get out of here and save his own skin. And my ba could go back to doing what he was born to do and change his mind about me doing it too. What's the deal with Callum? What? You haven't figured it out? You've talked with him, right? He doesn't belong here any more than I do, but for different reasons. Callum's not hard enough to survive in this place like this. If this city doesn't kill him one night, him drinking away his worries probably will before long. Funny thing is, I thought that once I got out and made my fortune, I could set Callum up someplace nice. But that's not going to happen now, thanks to my ba. He'd rather see us both waste away here. Your father found out about your plans. Yeah, he heard me talking to someone about how I might link up with the Hell Thunder crew. He got real mad, dragged me aside like he was trying to pull my damn arm off. Thought we might come to blows. It would be the first time since I was a kid. I could probably kill him now if I'm not careful. But he just wanted to yell at me. So much the better for his health. He told me I was living a fantasy land. He told me I wasn't cut out for the life I was looking to lead. He said it would get me killed. Pah. Worst part? He asked me why I can't be more like my brother. Just goes to show how little he knows about us. Callum isn't even cut out for the cozy life we have here at the club. I'll leave you be. Yeah, the family drama here is getting pretty, the tea's getting pretty hot here. Oh, Eos. This is the other Shadowrunner. Okay. This looks like, Felicia Day. Completely. Tell me I'm wrong. The red hair, it's Felicia Day. A red-headed elf is hunched over her table, her eyes firmly locked on a disassembled microdrone she has spread out across. A name tag on her jumpsuit collar says EOS in bold letters. After a few moments, she sighs heavily and mutters under her breath, "Oh, come on. Don't tell me I lost the EMS transducer." EOS frantically begins searching the area around the table, methodically sifting through cigarette butts, stale gum, and orange peels. She squeals with excitement as she finds a small circuit. Got you! That's a relief and a half. She places it gingerly in one of her pockets. As she turns her attention back toward the table, she spares you a quick glance. Watch your step. I don't think anything else fell off the table, but I won't know for sure until I get this back together. Are you sure a bar is the best place to do drone repair? No, but the guy who lives next door to me is doing some kind of heavy-duty electrical work, and it's filling my apartment with static electricity. Didn't want to risk frying this little guy's guts. She leans over, peering closely at some peculiar part. Oh crap, this is going to take more work than I thought. Oh well, another time. Sweeping the drone pieces up into a pile with her hands, she scoops them into one of her jumpsuit's many pockets. She turns to face you, giving you her full attention. You're Kindly's hired help, aren't you? The name's Eos. Nice to meet you. I'm Yemmer. Nice to meet you. Glad to get your name. It's a lot nicer than that foreigner, which seems to be what most of the locals call you. She pulls out a business card made of stamped sheet metal and puts it on the table. We're in the same line of work, you know. You ever need a rigger, look me up. Very affordable rates, and I guarantee results. Why'd you become a rigger? I've always loved cars. Old ones, new ones, even the beaters that are falling apart and you have to hold them together with baling wire and chewing gum. I like drones too, but my first love was a 2034 Alfa Romeo Farinata. Drove that thing until the wheels fell off. Eos grins crookedly, propping her chin up on one fist. Did some work with the Atlanta film industry at first as a stunt driver. That paid for my first vehicle control rig. It also got me into drone rigging, since smaller projects usually need camera riggers for aerial shots. Fun times, but the pay in the CAS isn't like it is in Hollywood. It's all small scale stuff. Film work's a long way from being a Shadowrunner. Sure is, but when your mom gets sick and you can't afford to pay her medical bills, you start looking for alternatives. You turn to the shadows. You find out there's all kinds of people who want getaway drivers, especially if the drivers also have drones fitted with high caliber weapons. I started to make a name for myself. Took some jobs for the Comanche Mafia, smuggling things in and out of Pueblo Corporate Council. Eos spreads her hands helplessly grinning. And here I am. Once I get a taste for the adrenaline, I never look back. Too much of a rush out here on the edge. How'd you get your street name? Honestly, it's my sunny disposition. I'm not even kidding. The elf giggles to herself for a moment, head falling back as she stares towards the ceiling. I had this friend in Vegas, a real rich, old-timey type from Dubrovnik. He'd fallen on hard times, mostly because couldn't play cards for shit. Great fixer though, because everybody loved him. He's the one who gave it to me. Eos, he said to me, your new street name should be Eos, because whenever you show up, it's like the breaking dawn in my office. Could have charmed bees out of their hives, I swear to God. Last I heard, he'd finally gotten enough money to pay his debts and get the hell back to Europe. Sure hope he did. I like to imagine him sitting on the Adriatic, sipping a Negroni and reading a spy novel. You have a preferred kind of job? Eos gets a smile that spreads from ear to ear, and she leans over to whisper in a conspiratorial tone. Heist. Anytime we can get in under a ticking clock, racing against time, and get away in a cloud of burning rubber, that's where it's at for me. One of the best jobs. I've never had a run on a... One of the best jobs I've ever had was a run on a branch of Frankfurter Bankverein in Nice. The cops were hot on our ass as soon as we got out of the vault, because the Decker had been dumped from the system before we could squash the alarm. So we rush outside, right? And our getaway car is a Skoda RK3 that I'd modded up with a supercharger and a kinetic energy recovery system. Didn't look like much, but man, that car could haul. We were burning through those French streets like we were right out of an old Frankenheimer movie. Glorious getaway. Any run you can walk away from is a good one. You said it. In the aftermath, glorious. 2 weeks lounging on the beaches of Corfu, eating fresh perch you caught right on the rocks. Revian always wanted to poach it, but come on, you gotta grill fish that fresh. Later, Eos. See you. Don't be afraid to call. Okay, so yeah, she is already on our Shadowrunner roster. Hey, Callum. Even though he has a drink in his hand, the red in Callum's eyes is not that of a drunken stupor, but of barely suppressed rage. An angry troll is a dangerous thing, and an angry drunk troll is a disaster waiting to happen. What do you want? You don't look so good. You should see the other guy. Huh. Not a scratch on her, of course. Might be easier if she just hit me, but she fights with words, infusing them with guilt and fear and deceit. She gets in your head. It's no wonder I'm having such twisted dreams. Problems with your mom? Asking that is like asking for my life story. But the short version is that my parents have been actively working against me since I was old enough to think for myself. But this time it goes beyond discouragement. It's a new low. No other word for it but sabotage. Whoever my would-be patron is, he works for Baiho. Same court my mother used to work for. Not sure why she quit, but it must have been an ugly break for her to be acting this way. To think she'd be so spiteful that she'd deny her own son a future because of it. I always thought she just wanted me home working as a wage slave in her own house. Turns out the bitch just can't stand the thought of me succeeding where she failed. Dream? Messed up dream. Same one actually, over and over. I'm lying on a long dining table, like you'd find with a rich man's home. Real wood, polished, and set with all the finery. But there I am, right in the middle of it, like a little bit of it all, like the main course. I hear whispers all around me, women's voices. Then one of them approaches and I see that it's my mother. She doesn't even look me in the eye. She just sees me like an object, some kind of thing, and then she cuts into me. I don't feel any pain. I suppose I'm dead, but I scream anyway. I scream because of the look on her face when she starts to eat the hunk of me she carved off. Her teeth are terrifying. And then another woman approaches, and it's my mother again. They all are. And they all start devouring me, bit by bit, until there's nothing left. Okay, good talk, Callum. Bye. Yeah, that's pretty messed up, and I'm just going to leave now. I'm going to go talk to your mom. The dread creeping through Haoi has pervaded even the induced euphoria of Club 88. Ermine herself is not immune, looking to be caught between the need for rest and the inability to find the peace necessary for it. It's not a good time, Yemmer. I can see that. What's going on? I wish I knew. I can only speak for myself, though. I don't know about the rest of them, but I'm dead on my feet. Slept a solid 6 hours, but it was hardly restful sleep. Still worrying about Callum in that suit? I tried to put that period of my life behind me. I tried to forget what happened. To move past it. I had to, or else I would have destroyed our family just as it was beginning. Some truths are best left behind. I can live with the shame. It was my own stupid mistake. But it should have ended there. The past should stay in the past. But this man will not be denied. He will lure Callum with the promise of fortune, power, prestige. He will offer him things I never could, just as he once did with me. Callum feels alone here, just as I did when Henry was away at sea. I'll kill this man before I let him take my boy from me. I don't care who he is or what right he might claim. I suppose this is why I'm not sleeping well. The dreams. Oh, bad dreams? Like none I've ever had before. Vivid. More real than you standing here, and the memory refuses to leave me. I was 20 years younger, young, absolutely at my home in my own skin, and happy. Happier than I ever remember being, positively glowing. There was a man with me. It was Henry, but not the Henry I knew. It was the Henry as he might have been if he had never goblinized. Handsome, well-dressed, perfectly human. But when he smiled, there were too many teeth, and I knew it was a lie. Then I woke up, clutching my stomach, feeling for bite marks that weren't there. I haven't been able to shake the image of that smile all day. Those teeth, they wanted to devour me and everything I hold dear. Well, that sounds a lot like Calem's. Alright, little business might take your mind off it. Okay, let's see here. Let's get down to the rifles. Those are shotguns. Okay. Oh, I don't have the money for it. So I have... What do I have right now? Wait. Definitely don't have that. Okay. I can get this one if I had 2,000. Well, yeah, I've only got... That'll only get me 250. That's not going to do it. You know what? I don't use this one. Actually, I could sell my sniper. Yeah, I don't need to be bringing 2 drones around, so I'm going to sell him. And that gives us 2,000. Wait a minute. I have the Ruger 900, I think. Wait, what? Hold on, sorry. Ruger 100S. Okay, yeah, I've got that one. So, okay. So I'm going to get the FNHAR. So yeah, we'll take that. And that'll replace our AK, which is old as hell. And then actually I'm going to sell the AK. So here, let's, yeah, it's only 250, but we'll sell it. And that leaves us with 600. And I forgot to talk to Dad over here. Talk to Henry. Henry Coffey paces a rut in the worn floor of Club 88. He wrings his hands, looking every bit like one trying desperately to hold on to something, but failing with every attempt. He is oblivious to everything around him. Henry, you still with us? Huh? What? Oh, sorry. Didn't see you there. I was just thinking. What about? Lots of things. The past, the here and now, what is and what might have been. I think about how many sailors drown every year and how I never once came close. I think about how it might have been for Ermine if I had. Lots of things have been preying on my mind lately. Last time you mentioned an incident. Care to speak about it? Truth is, I've wanted to talk about it. Needed to talk about it for a long time. I was a first mate by then on a big rescue and salvage tug. We were steaming out into the Pacific, down towards Saipan. A big container ship had lost power and was drifting. When we were 2 days out from Hong Kong, we picked up a distress call. Our captain told us to ignore it, quoted some Wuxing corporate gibberish, and ordered our rigger to change course to avoid it. Truth is, we all knew why. That container ship was probably losing Wuxing $1 million in lost revenues for every hour it drifted. I don't know why I did it, but I refused. Maybe it was on account of being a family man, but I was just in a mood. But I couldn't leave those people behind. I demanded that the captain send us to assist, and when he didn't, I knocked him out. Well, everyone followed me. When we reached the signal, we found a small passenger ship well away from its regular route. No response to hails, so I went aboard with a small group. What we found was a horror show. Men, women, and children brutally butchered, but not outright killed. Some had died from their injuries, yes, but most were missing an arm, a leg, or a foot. They wouldn't have lasted much longer, but they could have been saved. And that's when we realized it was a trap. The time it would have taken us to stabilize and move those people would have given the ones responsible the chance they needed to take our boat. They'd meant to lure in a bigger ship. I grabbed my guys and we got the hell out of there, at full steam. I left those people to die. They knew it as we were going. Their eyes have haunted me ever since. So that was the end of my career. Wu Jing let me go nice and quiet with a hush package. The law of the sea still applies. You've got to help ships in distress when you can. Wu Jing didn't want anyone to know the captain of their rescue tugboat had tried to violate that. Ermine thinks I retired for the boys and her. She wouldn't be able to look at me if she knew the truth. How are things between you and Ermine? Not great, to be honest. It's true what the voice in my dreams has been saying. Ermine doesn't need me. I'm useless around here. Better that I just stay out of her way. But it's more than that. We've had our share of problems over the years. My being absent for long stretches, her being left alone, fending for herself while I was away. It wasn't easy for her, and I think she sometimes sought comfort elsewhere. I don't know who, and I don't know exactly when, but I can't help thinking it. I look at Callum sometimes. I'll always love him, but I'll also always wonder, okay. I'd hardly believe hardly be the worst thing to ever happen to me, but even so, I'm gonna leave you be. Oh my gosh, the drama. So the guy trying to be a patron for Callum might actually be his actual dad. Okay. That's a thing. Alright, let's talk to Ambrose. We're just going to talk to him, maybe pick up some health kits. I do not have enough money for cybernetics. Ambrose lies limp in his wheelchair while his spider drone tinkers delicately on a huge bionic power leg, which appears to be attached to a dismembered troll thigh. Ambrose reanimates as you draw near. Yummer, I'm doing some delicate work here. Just reaching a good point to pause, actually. Okay, what's up? What are you doing? Is that someone's leg? It will be. It's a vat-grown biological upper on a cybernetic lower. I'm merging the two together. It's going to give this poor guy the upper leg he wants back with the lower leg he needs. His voice is hushed. You're interested, huh? Okay, check this out. I'll be back. Ambrose goes limp. A half a dozen robotic arms suddenly pulse in a ballistic surge of activity, working on the leg, bristling with needles, scalpels, forceps, micro solderers, glue, and various other tools. For several minutes, there's no sound but quiet clicking and the hum of machinery. When the work is complete, the slender robotic arms draw back. They hover near the ceiling, around the operating area, like giant, attentive stick bugs. Ambrose's eyes flutter back open. He continues talking, hardly skipping a beat. This guy works in the tunnels, with his feet in sewage all day. He got some kind of flesh-eating trench rot. It went right up his leg, nearly killed him. They had to amputate it at the hip. I'm giving his upper leg back, but using a chrome lower leg so it won't happen again. That's actually pretty cool, Ambrose. This is nothing. You should see what they're doing in research now. Growing tissue so that it interweaves with mechanical matrices. Wild shit like that. Supposedly, they can now genotype a fetus in first trimester, take a stem cell from it, and grow upgraded organs for it by the start of the third trimester, then implant them in utero and still have a natural birth. It's incredible. It's a start of superhumans. Speaking of superhumans, I bet you're not here to talk about this leg. What happened with Karen? She betrayed me. Ambrose folds his one arm tensely across his chest and scowls. She left me here. He nods towards a small frame picture over his impressive home-built computer. That's Karen. Okay, inspect the picture. The picture of is a serious-looking Filipino woman in a black tank top. Her neck, shoulders, and arms are chiseled with lean muscle and spotted with tattoos. She looks vaguely annoyed at the camera. Semper Fidelis is visible in Gothic script tattooed across her chest. A trans-Catholic rosary hangs on the picture, a crucifix with a delicate Kali yantra overlying the center. In the picture, the rosary is visible around the woman's neck. Karen quit Shadowrunning too. Supposedly, she made a full recovery. She started delivering for smugglers. She was my main conduit for drugs and cyber. Ambrose shakes his head gently. She just stopped caring about anything. Maybe it was a brain injury, but I don't think so. I think everything she's done started catching up with her. I could see it in her eyes. Take your time. I'm listening. Ambrose rubs his mouth with the remainder of his hand. He pauses. She couldn't sleep. She wouldn't take meds for it. I think she didn't want to get better. One day, she was here. We were behind the curtain. I went out front to talk to someone. Ambrose presses one of his remaining fingers to the side of his neck. Then she took her butterfly knife and set the point right here. She pushed the blade right through and out along her trachea, sliced through everything outside of that, severed her own carotid artery, just like she was removing a sentry. That was it. Done. Ambrose stops, holds his hands over his mouth for a long moment, then continues. His voice is thick. She did it right there, on the operating table. There wasn't even a thump. That was Karen. Efficient, ruthless, considerate in the weird way. Couldn't ever live by her own moral commandments. Couldn't ever ask for what she needed. Ambrose crosses himself. Requiescat cum Deus, Karen Santos. Kali, Mater Magna, Jesu Christi, Swami Noster. He gives you a sidelong glance. I'm not trans-Catholic. Hell, I'm not into religion at all. But I try to honor her in that way. I don't have etiquette. I'm just going to say, I'm sorry, Ambrose. It's okay, Yammer. She made her peace, I guess. Ambrose looks silently at Karen's picture. Eventually, he turns back to you. Ripshot's dead. My old hood in Chicago is in the containment zone. And Karen, well, she was my best friend ever. I'm the last man standing. So here I am. I think I survived for a reason, so I can make other people's lives better. That's what I'm trying to do. Life is what we make it, right? Yeah, Ambrose, life is what we make it. Here, you want a drink? We should have a drink. A robotic arm flings open a cabinet, clatters inside it, and swings across the room clutching a sapphire blue bottle. This is Lambanog. It's a Filipino coconut vodka. Have a shot with me. That actually sounds kind of nice. Sure, I'll have one. The robotic arm pours 2 shots. It swings one over to you. Ambrose gingerly takes the other in his ruined hand and holds it up. To fallen friends. I'm just going to repeat it. To fallen friends. Or no. Fallen friends. So I'm going to say, may they rest in peace. You swallow the shots together. The strong raisin-flavored liquor burns going down. Oh, raisin? No. Ambrose looks around in silence. Then his gaze settles on you, lonely. I used to be a real piece of work, Yammer. When I got busted up, for the first time in my life, I had to rely on other people. Broke, hunted, and close to death. Not so different from how you showed up, except for the death part. Someone here owed Karen a favor. The people of Hayoi took care of us. Now I think, if I did so much harm in my past life, how much healing can I do in this one? Ambrose sighs and clutches his shot glass against his chest, like a religious talisman. He looks thoughtfully at you. That's more than I've told anyone in a long time. It does the heart good, Yummer. Thanks. Well, a doctor's life is busy. Better wrap this up. I'm going to say thanks, Ambrose. It was a privilege to listen. Hey, we got karma for that. I'm glad to know you, Yummer. All right, let me see your services. I need medical supplies. Oh, just level 2s? All right. We're going to take them. All right. So we'll take those. And, okay, I've got one. Hold on. Oh no, I do have all twos in there. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, we'll do that. Okay. Goodbye, Ambrose. Time for me to go. Actually, I'm going to check services and cyberware. I've only got 150 bucks. I literally got nothing. All cyberware installs. I don't have... Wait. Oh. Why did I get one... Did I buy that? The bone lacing? Oh, well. I have it. It increases one body, but... Alright, there we go. Talk to you later. Okay, we have talked to everybody now. Alright, and we're going to save. And then... we need to go to the docks to go find Gobbet. We got a new drone. Is it this one? That's the docks? Hold on. Catch a boat to the sinking ship and find Gobbet. Okay, that's the one I want to do. But where... This is a different one. I don't want to do this one. Captain Jomo is busy playing some kind of gambling game on his comlink. It beeps and flashes as he taps away. Come on, Jomo. Win, not lose. Maybe buy yourself a new hat. He doesn't appear to have noticed you at all. The game makes a sad, defeating noise. Jomo curses under his breath, nose wrinkling in disgust. Finally, he seems to notice you. Stupid game. Always, it cheats me. Never a good hand. Now, kindly Cheng sends you, La. You need Captain Jomo to take you to play pirate? We can do that later. Right now, I need a favor. There we go. Okay. What favor can Jomo do for you? You need a body dumped at sea? I can do it fast. No one will see. Maybe you need to hide some cargo on a beach. Make a map with X marks the spot? Captain Jomo burst into heavy laughter, slapping his side in mirth. Travel to the sinking ship. I need you to take me to the sinking ship. Ah, easy, La. I know exactly where that heap of junk is. Alright. Lead the way, then. Alright. Oh, it's just us? We can't bring anybody else? Okay, here we go. The sinking ship. Hung Hong Bay. Captain Jomo's converted speedboat chops through the rough water like a cleaver through chicken bones, launching you skyward with every wave it hits. Your destination, the sinking ship, Gobbet's former home. The orc pirate laughs and opens the throttle. Wind and rain lash your face as the floating amalgamation of shipping containers grows larger. You can see that it's stacked at least 3 containers deep, an elegant brick of corrugated weathering steel. An assortment of pontoons, buoys, and other flotation devices have been lashed to the base of the raft to prevent it from tipping. You don't know what's happening here or why Gobbet felt the need to face it alone. But one way or another, you're going to find out. And we will do that in just a minute. We're going to be right back, everybody. So here we go. Okay, we are back. And let's jump into it here. Alright, I've got all my stuff. Let's see here. Oh, we're going to load them up with med kits as well. There we go. And her pistol, I believe, is better than this weird one we have. So, alrighty. I guess it's, yeah, me and Isabel. So here we go. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I've only got 2 karma. It's fine. The scramble up the side of the sinking ship was treacherous. You hauled yourself up over the edge with your heart hammering in your chest, clawing for purchase against the wind and the driving rain. Walking on the surface deck isn't much better. The seal that you're standing on is slick, sheeted with water from the rainstorm that hammers down from above. Every time you shift your weight, you can feel your feet begin to slide. There are no safety rails in sight. A slip, a rogue wave, it wouldn't take much to send you screaming over the edge of the raft into the dark water below. This thing is a wreck. Isabel gingerly prods at a rusted section of the container that you're standing on with her boot. It depresses easily with entirely too much give. I can't believe that Gobbet ever chose to live here. I'm sure it's nicer on the inside. Pretty sure that's wishful thinking. She prods the patch of rust again, frowning. The steel flakes under her foot. Truth is, what we're seeing here doesn't even fit. The lady in charge of this thing, Melinda, or whatever her name was supposed to be some sort of control freak, and Gobbet always talked to her pal Cadmus up as a top quality repair guy. This thing looks like it's in good repair to you? No, but we don't know. A sudden gust of wind buffets you, sending you sliding. Isabel drops into a crouch, clinging to the metal with gloved hands to keep herself from slipping. She looks up, locks her dark eyes on you. We should get moving. It's dangerous up here, and my gear is getting soaked. Agreed. Let's find Gobbet and make sure she's all right. She nods. You take the lead, I'll follow. All right. So let's see here. What? Wait, what's going on? Devil rats, don't let them bite you. Oh! Okay, I'm gonna activate drone here. Okay, he's got a nice setup. Damn it. Okay. Good. Oh, I don't like where she is, but let's see here. Wait, she only had 1 AP? What? Why are they all coming after me? We're all 62. Let's get this guy. Shit. Oh, wait. Oh, I did that wrong. Okay, got 1. The others are all... Oh, that one's 70. Let's try a... Okay. Wait, did we kill that one? I think we did. Ow. Come on. There we go. Get the bastards. Alright, we're going to save. And talk to... Come join us by the fire and get warm. Local somebody. The woman by the fire looks like she hasn't seen a bar of soap in weeks. Her companion doesn't look much better. Their faces are streaked with soot and grime that the rain seems impotent to wash away. Glad to see you made it through that in one piece. The woman smiles at you, revealing a set of crooked teeth. Please, come stand by the fire and get warm. Yeah, sure. Thanks for your hospitality. Her smile widens. Of course. We don't get strangers here often, and it's far too miserable out to turn away a guest. Um, you helped us out back there. I appreciate it. She smiles weakly. Of course. I'm just hoping that you'll be willing to return the favor. We could really use the help. I've got some questions. If you two are locals, maybe you can answer them. They exchange uneasy glances. Sure. She tries on a smile. Ask away. What are your names? My name's Kara. Kara Lung. She jerks her thumb at the rotund man huddled by her side. That's Patrick Lowe. He lifts his doughy face from the fire to squint at you. Hey, welcome aboard. So, are you two the welcoming committee? Yes, Malvina told us. His companion cuts in. We were told to keep position up here and watch out for incoming vessels. Piracy is always a threat in these waters. I can't tell you how happy we were to see a couple of friendly faces on deck. How do you know that we'd be friendly? We're heavily armed strangers and you only just met us. She chuckles. If you'd wanted to kill us, you'd done it already, right? Besides, we know you aren't pirates. You haven't tried to rob us yet. When did the devil rats first start appearing? A couple of months ago, I think. The days kind of flew together out here, and it's hard to say. They only started getting aggressive a couple of weeks ago, though. How many people live on the sinking ship? Beats me. The population is going down recently, though. I'll tell you that much. A lot of the ship is barricaded, off limits. We have no idea how many people are living in those sections now. But when I first arrived on the sinking ship, there were at least a couple hundred souls aboard. Attrition being what it is, I guess there are maybe 70 of us left. Like he said, it's hard to say. You two don't seem very well equipped to fight against those things, no offense. None taken. We're squatters, not soldiers. We're doing our best, but I'd be lying if I said if I weren't glad to have a professional on board. Want to tell us why your raft is crawling with those things? Her smile fades. We don't know. At first, it was just a nuisance, but lately it's been getting a lot worse. Those little monsters are threatening our nest. We try to kill them, but they just keep coming back. That answers my questions. Good. So are you ready to help us? We'll help you with your rat problem, but you need to help us first. He turns to his companion. Refresh my memory. Didn't we just help peel a swarm of devil rats off them a few seconds ago? Isabel heels to face the man scowling. We didn't ask you to do that. We could have handled the rats on our own. We're looking for a friend. She sighs. All right, describe this friend of yours to me. She's young, about my age, orcish, with a shaved scalp and dreadlocks. Have you seen her? I'm afraid not. I wish we had, but we don't get to see many strangers here. So how about it? Will you help us out with our rat infestation or not? Yeah, we'll help. She breathes a sigh of relief. The rats have been a huge problem for us. Between the damage they inflict and the disease they carry, they've made it impossible for us to keep up our regular maintenance duties on the raft. Excuse me. If you follow us, we'll lead you down below decks. With your help, we'll get this ship cleaned out again. All right, lead the way then. We'll follow. The hatch down below is just over this way. We'll show you down. Okay. So I'm thinking maybe we have Dab in the party, but I'm going to look around a little bit. Okay, doesn't appear to be any shinies anywhere else. Okay. Oh. A shallow pool of standing water has gathered on the platform, separating it from an access hatch at the edge of the raft. Electricity arcs over the surface of the pool in angry spiderwebs of blue-white light. Whoa, hold up. The damned anti-boarding system's gone haywire again. He points at the crackling pool. Look, it isn't draining the way it's supposed to. She slams a heel onto the deck, her face flushing red in frustration. Again? We just fixed the pump last week. Anti-boarding system? Isabel looks up from the crackling pool, fixes her eyes on the locals. What the hell is this? A bad idea, that's what. Blame the Shadowrunners that lived on this thing before we did. It's like an anti-theft system in a car, only a lot meaner. When it gets tripped, the channel floods and then the ship's power gets shunted into the water. It can deliver a hell of a shock. She shakes her head at the crackling pool, scowling. Only now, it seems to trigger it randomly, and the pump that we installed as a workaround has started breaking down at the drop of a hat. Great. Well, it isn't that dangerous, all things considered. He glances at you and Isabel, sizes you up. You've got boots on, right? You could probably make it across without... Isabel cuts him off, a serious look on her face. It's pouring out. We're both drenched. And that thing has to be putting out a lot of voltage for those arcs to be visible like that. Trying to cross that pool as is would be a bad idea. A really bad idea. Maybe we can find a way to drain the water. Yeah, that pump over there. She points to a rusted hunk of machinery at the edge of the pool. I'm guessing that's the one that isn't working? Yeah, that's the one. It's supposed to keep this part of the deck clear, but it keeps breaking down. She shakes her head in disgust. Stupid, stupid thing. I swear, I must have burned through 4 different fuses in the past 2 weeks. We'll try fixing the pump first. If that doesn't work, we'll have to look around for another solution. She turns away from the dwarf, sneering. One that doesn't involve crossing on foot. All right. Before you sits a very worn and very non-functional water pump. An ancient hose snakes down from the pump into the drainage channel along the deck. Looks pretty busted. Maybe we could fix it with some of the junk that's littering the deck. Let's examine the pump mechanism. Upon closer inspection, you can see that this pump suffers from clear signs of neglect. Years of near constant use have deferred maintenance have taken their toll on the machine. It has recently broken down. Heavy scoring and burn patterns also indicate the reason why the pump isn't working. A blown fuse. Oh, we have intelligence. We'll attempt to jury-rig the pump. You pop the rusted metal hatch on the pump's casing and examine the machine's internal workings. If you wanted to, you could bypass the burnt-out fuse and draw from the system's reserve power directly. Doing so would give you 1 or 2 more charges, but would also damage the machine beyond repair. We're going to bypass... Yeah, we'll just do that. You shunt reserve power into the water pump. There's a metallic screeching sound and little machine rattles back to a semblance of life. And now it's dead. Clouds of oily smoke stream up from the smoldering wreckage of the water pump. Isabel surveys the damage, shaking her head. Congratulations, you blew up the pump. I didn't mean for it to explode. I imagine not. The result's the same either way, though. She turns away. Anyway, you got the water drain. That's something, at least. Let's go. All right. Oh, for snagga fragga rats. Wow. Okay, I need to get out of here and have Isabel hit these things with her grenade launcher. So yeah, I'm actually going to move back. And then Isabel, if you would. Oh, look at that. 2 shots, done and done. All right, down we go. Upon descending the ladder, you find yourself in the cramped confines of a shipping container. Interior walls have been erected out of corrugated aluminum, and doors have been cut to allow passage from component to component. The air down here is ripe with the odor of rotting garbage. Sorry about the state of the place. The rats have kept our work crews too busy to worry about hauling the garbage. But now that you're here, we'll be able to set things right. Kill off those little bastards once and for all. I'm going to say, we're going to look around here for a bit before we go anywhere. Her expression clouds. All right, fine. You've got the big guns. We aren't going to argue with you. But it's important we get to the lower decks quickly. Things are getting worse here by the hour. Isabel fixes her dark eyes on the squatter. We'll move out when we're good and ready. You're lucky we're even agreed to help. She backpedals. Of course, only when you're ready. Take your time. Look around. You're guests here, after all. We'll be at the other end of the deck. When you want to go down, just come look for us. Got it. Thanks. Okay. So we're going to save. Wait. Dang it. Okay. They've run off. Let me save now. There we go. All right. Let's, yeah, we're going to look around. Wait. Notice, due to recent weather issues, only 3 people are allowed at the top decks at a time. Report violations of this policy. Okay, what do we got in here? Hi there, you person. A middle-aged woman with a slouching posture stands with her back to a reinforced door. With a languid motion, she turns her head to stare at you. New folks, I'll be damned. She shifts positions with a grunt. The hell you doing in here? We're looking for a friend of ours. Maybe you've seen her. She shakes her head no. Nope, I ain't seen your friend. Sorry. You don't even know what our friend looks like yet. How can you say for sure you haven't seen her? No one's come down here today but you. Not a soul. Didn't see anyone yesterday either. And I can't remember much past then. She smiles, revealing a crumbling set of nicotine-stained teeth. Bad memory. Can't do a thing about it. Who are you? Name's Lisa. You can call me Lise, though. Everybody on the raft does. What's behind the door? She runs her tongue over her teeth. Storage closet. Nothing worthwhile in there. Don't even know why they have me standing watch over the thing. But those are the rules, right? And you can't question the rules. Oh, geez, I'm not going to attack her or threaten her. I'm going to say, I'm questioning them right now. What did the rules ever do for you? Well, they kept me alive, for one. She licks her lips, nodding. That means I'm doing better than some. Oh, we got intelligence. Has following the rules ever gotten anyone hurt or killed? She pauses, considering. Sure, I guess so. But maintaining a raft like this is dangerous work. Sometimes accidents can happen. Doesn't mean that you don't have to do your job. We all have to earn our keep. It sounds like disobeying the rules can get you killed, but obeying them can get you killed too. So what's the difference between the two? I don't know. Maybe there isn't one. The guard blinks, a look of confusion blanketing her face. If there's no difference between following the rules or breaking them, could you open the door for us? She reaches back and pulls a lever. You hear the metallic scrape of the door unlatching itself. Here you go. Knock yourself out. Well, thank you. Wait, there was something to look at. This door is heavily reinforced and barricaded. It'd take a bulldozer to get it open. But this door, we just opened. Oh. Okay, they just let me in, so. Hi. The woman standing guard duty nods in acknowledgement. Strangers, you picked a bad time to come visit. We aren't visiting. We're looking for a friend. Then you're out of luck. I haven't seen anyone from outside of quarantine in weeks. You want to talk to someone? Talk to the dwarf. I'm busy. She hefts her weapon, her eyes glued to the door. I need to keep my eyes open for more of those little bastards. We can't let any more of them sneak in here. Not after what happened to Simon. Best of luck. Talk to the dwarf. Oh. Sick dwarf. A stocky dwarf leans up against the wall of the container room. His skin is sallow and hangs off his bulky frame like a half-deflated balloon. You saw plenty of sick people back in the Barrens. Addicts, BTL heads, people whose immune systems have been ravaged by disease. This guy looks worse. Hello, stranger. Don't so many new faces in the raft these days, he sighs. But you're here, so you want something. Now what would that be? Isabel pushes forward. We're friends of Gobbet's. Seen her around? He chuckles. Friend, if you're looking for Gobbet, you're here about 3 years too late. Your friend ain't here, and you've stumbled in the worst kind of place to be lost. What's your name, friend? Me? I'm nobody important. He coughs into his sleeve. The sound is alarmingly wet. Just a man waiting to die. You haven't seen Gobbet lately, have you? He just said not. No, haven't seen the girl in years. I'd love to, mind you. She was a good friend way back when. What's wrong with this place? Aside from the uninvited guests, you mean? He struggles to stifle another cough. We've got a rat problem. We've noticed. Don't let what happens to me happen to you, too. You want my advice? You get out of here and you do it before you get bit. He gestures at the sweat-damp heaps of cloth that line the walls around him. If you don't, you might just wind up on your deathbed here, right by my side. Okay, we'll leave you in peace. Yeah, you do that. If you'd happen to find Gobbet, bring her by. I haven't seen her in a long time. It'd do me good to talk to her again before I die of this damn disease. Okay, what do we have here? Oh, that's those two. What do we have here? Wait, what? The local uphead beckons you forward. It's just up this way, through this door here. As you approach, something catches your eye. A vent in the wall behind the locals. Movement. Something living must be hidden inside. Behind you, more devil rats. Panic-stricken, they begin to turn, their weapons raised. There's a flurry of motion and something large explodes out of the vent. Gobbet lands in a crouch, her weapon raised. Don't go in there, it's a trap. What? Oh, you do not be messing with Gobbet. Here, let's do... Shit. I should have gotten into cover. Alright, let's switch back to the pistol here. Because they're far enough apart. Oh! The bloody local tosses his gun aside and raises a pair of trembling hands. His eyes have gone wide with terror. I'm sorry. We didn't want to do it. We didn't have a choice. The words come spilling out in a frantic babble. It ordered us to. What it? What are you talking about? Explain yourself. I don't know what it is. It talks with Malvina's voice, but it isn't her. Helpless tears stream down his cheeks, clinging to his skin like beads of dew on a leaf. If you want to live, you have to do what it says. Oh, geez, we're not just going to execute him. I'm going to let you live. Don't make me regret it. The squatter collapses against the wall, sobbing uncontrollably. Gobbet dusts herself off and paces towards you. Hey, it is. Hey, Seattle. I don't remember inviting you on this run, but I guess that I'm glad you could make it. She jerks her head towards the squatter's ruined body. You're welcome, by the way. Are you all right? We came looking for you. Really? I thought you were visiting the sinking ship for its wonderful food and beautiful views. She flashes you a weak smile. And yeah, I'm okay. Look, I'm sorry about the sudden entrance and everything. I wish I'd had time to explain what was going down, but I didn't because, well, she shrugs. Trap. Yeah, you mentioned that. What kind of trap are we talking about? The kind where you end up dead. Look, I don't know exactly what they're planning to do, but I've seen them lead people through those doors before. She gestures towards the heavy double doors at the end of the hall. The people who I watched go in there never came back out again. Not a one. They'd just scream and scream, and when the doors opened up again, they'd be gone. Well, thanks for the warning. She shrugs. Don't mention it. There's a long, awkward pause. Finally, Isabel steps forward. So now that we're all together, do you want to tell us why you came back here all by yourself? We'd have gone with you, Gobbet. All you had to do was tell us. She raises her hands. Yeah, I know. But I figured that this one was on me, and I didn't want to wait another minute. Besides, I had a plan. Yeah, and what kind of plan was that? A pretty simple one. All I wanted to do was get the lay of the land. Sneak around a little, maybe find my old friends and get some answers. I didn't come here to get into a firefight, and it's easier to be quiet solo than it would be dragging you two around. No offense. So you scoped the place out. Fine. Mission accomplished. Do you know what you're doing now? Yeah, this place is fucked. I'm gonna sink it. Wait a second. What? The sinking ship is doomed, Seattle. I could feel that the second I set foot on board. She checks herself. Earlier than that, even. On some level, I think I could feel it back home. That's why I couldn't stop thinking about this place. Whatever is happening here is wrong. This whole place feels off to me somehow, maybe even toxic. I came back to find my friends, Cadmus and Malvina, to check on them. Instead, I found a swarm of man-eating rats, a death trap, and a bunch of squatters who seem intent on killing me. Her tone becomes brisk. So, I'm going to kill them right back, and I'm going to use the scuttling charges that are still embedded in the hold to do that. I've already handled the ones on this level, but I haven't gone down below yet. We need to activate the charges below the water line if we're going to bring this sucker down. And so that's where you're heading next, downward. Not quite, on account of the trap. I don't know how to get past it yet. She frowns. Minor setback, right? So my next step was to figure that out. Okay, makes sense to me. Time to ask some pointed questions then. She nods enthusiastically. Somebody on this level must know how to get past that thing. I put money on Cadmus knowing if we can find him. He was always more of a mechanic than he was a shaman. Let's go. Okay. So I want to look at stuff here. Some tags. They seem relatively fresh. They haven't been here long. Okay, what do we got here? Who's this? Ship inhabitant. The man standing before you looks cleaner than most of the other squatters on the sinking ship. There are no streaks of grease on his cheeks, and his clothes look freshly laundered. He leers at you as you approach. Well, what have we here? Strangers on our humble raft, exploring her leaking bowels? The man grins, revealing the cavernous gap in his teeth. He hefts a snifter brimming with cognac in salute. Welcome to the sinking ship, strangers. Now tell me what you want. Who are you? You may address me as Mercurio. He bows slightly, the cognac sloshing in his glass. At your service. What do you do on the raft? A bit of this, a bit of that. I'm an artist, or rather, I used to be. An artist and a socialite, and a man about town. He spreads his hands. By town, I mean raft, of course. Now, I mostly find myself shut away here, on the sinking ship's upper deck. I've been festering away here for months, desperately clinging to the finer things in life. He sniffs. Quite the tale of woe, really. That's it? You just loiter around and socialize? A fine and noble profession. He takes another sip, swilling the brandy in his mouth. But you're a street-level operative, no? Blue-collar work. I wouldn't expect you to understand. Now, if that will be quite all, he glances at the door. All right, see ya. What do we got over here? That's a big guy. This squatter is in need of immediate medical attention. Her torso is a gory mess, and an ever-expanding pool at her feet tells you that she's well on the way to bleeding out. She peers at you through sunken eyes set into an alarmingly gray face. Please help me. I'm going to patch her up. You crack open a med kit and go to work. Within minutes, you've run a saline drip into her arm and sealed the wound with liquid skin. A final slap patch of adrenaline and painkillers gets the woman up and onto her feet. Shakily, she extends her hands in greeting. I don't know who you are, strangers, but you just saved my life. If I can ever return the favor, you let me know. What's your name, friend? Maria Lamb. My friends call me Sparrow. Good to meet you, Sparrow. She chuckles. Better luck for me than I met you. If I hadn't, I think I'd have bled out by now. How'd you get shot? It was part of the last mutiny attempt. Made it through that all right, but I guess I also made some enemies. I don't know who shot me, but it's a fair bet that someone on this boat is holding a grudge. Oh, okay, well, have a nice day. Bye. All right, but if you ever need anything else, you know where to find me. Okay. Let's go over here. Who's this? Ship inhabitant? A slender human woman in shabby overalls looks up from her work with a frown. You can't help but notice the scars on her neck. Her eyes flit from you to Isabel, then they land on Gobbet. Her face lights up. I'll be damned. Gobbet. Hello, Yasmin. It's good to see you again. Yeah, you too. Where the hell have you been all these years? On a different boat, funny enough. Yas, I'm a little out of the loop on what's happening here. Could you do me a solid and fill us in? Yeah, we're not supposed to talk about it, but I'll tell you what I know. Tell us what's happening here. She looks uneasy. Well, we're all struggling to deal with the devil rat infestation. You probably know about them. With all the rats around, there aren't many volunteers for the maintenance crews anymore. It gets lonely out here. She abruptly stops talking. Her cheeks flush red. That's it. That's all I have to say. Yes, you're talking to me here, so tell me what's going on. I can't help you if I don't know what's happening. Yasmin's eyes dart up and down the hall, scanning for anyone who might be coming. Her hands begin to shake. After a moment, she leans toward Gobbet and lowers her voice to a whisper. Yeah, all right, she swallows. This raft is cursed. I think that I know what you're talking about, Yaz. I could feel it all the way back home. But tell me more. I want to hear it from you. Malvina isn't in charge here anymore. She's gone now. I think she may be dead. And whatever is taking her place, it's horrible. I don't even know what it is, but it isn't human. And the worst part is, it talks over the intercom using her voice. She claps a hand over her mouth, her eyes wide. Her entire body is shaking. Thanks, Yaz. That helps. Believe it or not, it helps. She nods mutely, still struggling to calm herself. Have you had any close encounters with the devil rats? Yeah, don't go downstairs unless you absolutely have to. The lower decks are absolutely crawling with the things. Okay, we'll leave you to work. Yeah, thanks. And be careful out there. There's a terminal over here. Water drips down from a leak in the ceiling to splatter against the case of this ancient terminal. It's a miracle the thing is still functional. A blinking cursor awaits your input. Access the terminal? Freeware mail client. User Chung Sun Anson. So we got mail 1. New regs, damn draft, quarantine, and meeting. So we're going to read the first message. New regs. We need to talk about these new regulations that you keep handing down. Look, I used to be a merchant marine. I get it. I know how important procedure is on a boat, but I know the mindset that you're working against. But some of these new regs are bordering on draconian, and they're getting in the way of our maintenance crews downstairs. Order is a good thing. Micromanaging isn't. So let's talk about it, okay? All right. Second message. We've got a hell of an infestation going on in the lower levels, and we need to start doing something about it. Can I count on you and your boys to help me with this? I know that Em would frown on what I'm proposing, but she isn't doing anything to help. We have to take matters into our own hands before things get ugly. Okay, third message. This was exactly what I was afraid of, see? Those bloody rats have eaten us out of house and home. And now that their food supply is gone, they've decided to turn on us. It's pretty clear that Am can't or won't use her magic to fix this, so it's on us to deal with the fallout. I've had the upstairs maintenance crews set aside a couple of containers as a quarantine area sick room. It's inevitable that we're going to start seeing people getting sick, and we need to place to shelve them. If we don't do this, we're going to have a panic on our hands. VITAS deaths aren't pretty. Okay, fourth message. Yes, Tell your brother that I got his note and that I'll be there. I don't know what all this is about, but I have a guess, and if I'm right, well, I'm in. Things have to change around here for all our sakes. Okay. Step away. And I think that's it. Oh wait, there's... What is this? Maintenance notice? Notice, all lower decks are off limits until further notice. Maintenance. Another generator. Oh, the air is thicker in here, acrid. The stench clings to your tongue, sticks to the back of your throat. It smells like damp cardboard and stale urine. Gobbet surveys the room warily, her nose crinkling in disgust. Well, that's foul. Don't go any further into the room, either of you. We don't know how to disarm the trap yet. Yeah, let's get out of here. Or wait, no. This is all we got. There's nothing else. So, let's go. You hit the ground with a bone-snapping crunch. Everything goes black. Okay. Well, that was bad. All right, let's try this again. I don't know what else we're supposed to do. Can we talk to people again? Oh. Okay, we can't go out. Who's this guy? Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. There we go. These scratches look like they were made by claws, but they're much bigger than anything that a devil rat could make. Okay, who's this? Another squatter, this one more beaten up than most. Bloody bandages wrap his knuckles, and one of his orbital sockets has been crushed, deforming the silhouette of his face. He peers at you with a mixture of suspicion and hostility. Don't recognize you. That means you're new here. His voice comes out in a hoarse croak. You picked a bad place to go sightseeing, outsider. You okay, man? You don't look so good. No, I'm not okay. I'm all beaten up and going blind in one eye. Now tell me what you want so I can be on my way. He spits the words out like venom. What's your name? My name? Ivan. Ivan Fu. That all? Can I go? Tell me about the sinking ship. I want to hear your take on what's happening here. It's going to shit. Rats everywhere. People dying. Smells like a garbage scow. He grunts. That satisfy your curiosity, outsider? Can you tell me any more? It's important. Look, I ain't the damn welcoming committee. I'm just a bloody old man who wants to get back to his squad. If you want to know more about the boat, ask someone else. Okay, fine. Okay, I don't know what else to do. Go to there, talk to there. There's the tag. I don't... Damn it. Alright. I don't know what to do. Why is it? Oh, there we go. Alright. Wait, there was a vent that Gobbet was hiding in. Maybe that had something to do with it. Okay. Nobody has anything to say. And there was nothing else on the terminal. It was just the 4 messages. Talk to that dude. There's claw marks. Can't go out there. Just leaving. Okay, what the hell? I don't know what to do. Okay, move along. Oh, the dwarf's milky eyes track you as you approach. A wave of recognition washes over his face, but his movements remain lethargic. Eventually, he manages to slur out a few words. Gobbet, back after all this time. Yeah, I'm sorry it's taken so long. Gobbet stares at the dwarf, wide-eyed. It's good to see you again, Cad. Oh, this is Cadmus. Gobbet's told me about you. How are you feeling? Perfect. Thanks for asking. He struggles to contain a burst of coughing. I mean, I'm dying, and my home has gone to shit, and we're probably going to sink into the bay, but otherwise I'm great. With a visible effort, he shifts his focus to Gobbet. Welcome home, girl. Been a long time. She swallows. Cadmus, I... Save it. I'm not mad. He squeezes his eyes shut. I'm mostly just happy to hear your voice again. It's good to have a friend. Are you sick, Cadmus? Well, clearly. He grins. Between his sunken eyes and hollow cheeks, the end result is ghastly. Ill, I would say so. Deathly ill. VITS is a real bitch. Even a neutered strain like this one can really knock you on your ass. You'll be okay, Cad. You're a dwarf and a shaman. That's 2 big points in your favor. You're going to walk this off. You'll see. Spare me the pep talk. I'm too tired to walk. He coughs into his sleeve. Cad. Save it. I know what my chances look like, and they ain't good. I've seen a lot of our friends loaded onto those cots, Gobbet. They all went out in garbage bags. Anyway, he wrestles his mouth into a friendly smile. Let's talk about something else, huh? All this doom and gloom is getting to me. Tell us what's happening here. Bad things. A lot of good people died. Something's gotten rotten on this raft, Gobbet. You know what I mean. Toxic. Yeah, I can feel it too. I can feel it all the way back home. Her throat moves, but it takes a moment for her voice to catch up. Cadmus, where are our friends? What happened to Yasmin and Anson and Malvina? Anson's dead. He never made it to the sick room. Just disappeared. But I know where he went. He stabs a finger downward at the floor. Yasmin's still with us. Small favors, right? But the fight has gone out of her. She's content to do what she's told and tremble. Malvina ain't Malvina anymore. I'm just going to let him continue. I was afraid of that. I just needed to hear you say it. She's gone toxic, hasn't she? She's gone toxic because of that damn bauble I gave her. It ain't her, Gobbet. It's something else. He struggles to contain another cough. Eventually it passes. But yeah, that shiny red egg that you and Sui lifted is the cause of it, I think. The ugliness was already inside of her, but that thing brought it out. She squeezes her eyes shut, balls her hands into fists. Shit. It isn't your fault, Gobbet. You had to give her that thing to stop the mutiny. I know, Seattle. I did what I had to do. No regrets. But I'm pretty fucking angry about what happened afterward. You and me both, kid. I'm as angry as I've ever been, and twice as frightened. His chest heaves as a deep bronchial cough racks his body. With a grimace of distaste, he spits out a wad of bloody phlegm. You haven't seen what happened to Malvina, what she's become. You need to rest. We should put this on hold, and he raised a hand, cutting her short. Got no time to rest, and you need to hear this. What we're up against. You ever heard of a rat king? It's an old folklore thing. Bunch of rats all fused together, their tails all wrapped and twisted into a giant big knot. That's what Mal has become. I don't know how many different spirits she's tied her essence to, but the last time I opened my third eye to her, I couldn't see where they ended and she began. What does that even mean? I've never heard of... It means she ain't human anymore, girl. Her aura is bound to other things, alien things, all tangled and twisted and grown together. They're all one being now, a rat king. It talks like Malvina, but it ain't her anymore. So this rat king is still human, physically speaking. Don't know. I heard rumors that Malvina's meat body is changing too. Haven't seen it myself. Don't know if I want to. After a long, wet cough interrupts his speech, he wipes his mouth with the back of his hand. The talisman that the Rat King is holding, the shiny object, do you know how it works? Nah, I tried assessing it once. The only thing that I took away from the experience was a migraine. Felt like there were railroad spikes buried behind my eyes for days. All I can tell you for certain is that it still works. As long as the Rat King's connected to that thing, you can't hurt it. Any holes that you put in its body will close up on their own. So what are we expected to do against that? If the bauble makes the thing unkillable, then you'll need to find a way to get that bauble away from it. Gobbet managed to do that during Sue's rebellion. I'll bet that she could do it again. Did you try to fight this Rat King? Yeah, I'd had enough, a lot of us had, so we took a page from old Suey's book. He offers you a sickly grin. We mutinied. He gestures at the writhing bodies of the cots on the sick room. That's what's left of our side. Been locked in here for 5 days now, waiting for VITAS to finish the job. The rest of us got fed to the rats. And doesn't seem to have gone very well. The half smile on his face evaporates. No, it didn't. Truth is, we weren't prepared for how many of those bastard rats Malvina had bred, and we weren't expecting our shipmates to fight on her behalf. Why would the others stop you from taking the ship back? That doesn't even make sense. Why do you think, girl? Fear. Fear of death. Fear of being gnawed apart by 100 vermin. Fear of that thing. So you're saying that the people here aren't brainwashed, that they're just afraid. Scared shitless is a better way of putting it, and I can't blame them. If anything, we're the crazy ones for trying to fight that thing. If the Rat King soldiers only serve it because they're afraid, then maybe we can turn them away from it. Could do. They might rally around someone they know, maybe someone who lived with and fought with them years ago. He eyes Gobbet. That was a subtle hint, girl. I've got a better idea. We're going to get you and your people into lifeboats, and then we're sending this raft to the bottom of the bay. And the Rat King is going with it. You can't mean that. This is our home. We've got nowhere else to go, Gobbet. I am not going to let that thing force us to put this raft to the torch. You've already tried it your way. Look what happened. Isabel steps in. Maybe it's good that you leave this place. I've lived in a place like this before. I've seen what it can do to people. She grew up in the walled city, Cad. And she knows that we've got to look forward to if you sink this raft. Because we sure as hell can't afford to live anywhere else. He cranes his neck to look up at Gobbet, pleading. Desperation burns in his eyes. Gobbet, listen. It isn't too late for the sinking ship. We can still turn this thing around. My mutiny failed because the Rat King knows things that we don't. Yours can succeed if you'll try. She shakes her head obstinately. My gut says that we should sink the raft. I said that from the moment I arrived here. That's what Rat wants me to do. So that's what I'm gonna do. Now I'm going to go. Gobbet, Cadmus might be right. If we could drum up enough support, I think we could retake the sinking ship. Her eyes narrow. Have you forgotten the first lesson I taught you, Seattle? Always go with your gut. And my gut says, spare us the lecture, Gobbet. Cadmus is right. You're going off half-cocked again. The truth is, we can save this raft if you want to. If you don't, tell us and we'll sink it. Look, Gobbet, things have changed since you decided to sink this raft. You can see that, right? She sets her jaw, draws a deep breath, and slowly releases it. All right, Cad, if you're sure that you can keep up your end, I'll be willing to help you with your mutiny. But if your people fuck it up, I'm sinking this thing. Got it? Yeah, and thanks. With your help, we can do this. That remains to be seen. He waves her off. Go on, get moving, and convince as many people as you can to help us when the time comes. Whoever you don't bring around to our side is going to fight against us. So be thorough about it. When you're ready for us to make your move, trigger the shipboard alarm system. 2 blasts, then we'll start kicking indoors. All right, Cad. 2 blasts starts the mutiny. But if we sound the alarm once and leave it, you get your people the hell off this raft. Got it? 1 blast means you're sinking the raft. You do that, and I'm kicking your bony ass from here to Macau. But, yeah, I hear you. Another long, wet cough racks his body. You got all that, stranger? You know what you're supposed to do? We convince people to join you, then trigger the alarm. 1 blast means we're sinking the raft. 2 means the mutiny is on. Got it. Good, thanks. And Gobbet, thank you. This does me good to know that you're with us on this. Okay. So, we need to convince everybody to fight. Oh. Glad to have you on our side, stranger. When the time comes for the mutiny, comes, you can count me in. Well, excellent. Good. Well, that one's done. How about the guard we schnookered? Please. The guard turns to face you. You're back. Why? The Rat King has ruled here for long enough. We're taking it down, and we could use your help. Her eyes go wide. You'll get yourselves killed even talking like that. You'll get me killed with you. Get the hell out of here right now. I won't take part in another damn mutiny. Think, how does it help you for the Rat King to stay in control? What? I warned you not to talk. Not to talk. What the... I don't want to kill her. And she just ran away, so I'm not gonna... Oh, okay. Alright, okay. I was gonna be nice there, but... Oh, shit. I feel really bad about that. I didn't want to... Okay. What about this dude? You're back. He smiles down at Isabel, saluting with his glass. Tell me why. We're taking the ship back from the Rat King. Will you help us? Oh, I got nothing. No, I'm afraid not. I'm a lover, not a fighter. This is your way out of here, don't you see that? Of course I do. I'm not a fool. But fighting the Rat King would also be a wonderful way for me to get myself killed. And I'm not keen to have that happen. Listen, if we can't rally enough support to make this mutiny happen, we're sinking the raft. Ah, I suppose that I don't have much choice then. Count me in. Alright, we got his help. Talk to this guy up here. I don't know if we're going to be able to get his help. You again. He lets out a low grunt. What do you need? Did the Rat King's people do that to you? No, I got caught in the crossfire. The mutineers did this to me. I thought I was with the Rat King. Ooh, shit. That all I wanted to do was get home. Instead, My right eye only sees double now, can hardly use my hands. The calmness of his voice belies the naked spite in his face. Thanks for asking. I know you're hurting, but there are other ways to help than fighting. Oh, I can fight. Don't worry about that. He glances down at his bandaged hands. Might be best if I waited a week or two, but even in the state I'm in, I can hold my own. I used to be damn good with the blade. Paid a pretty penny to have one custom forged for me even. That blade was a lovely thing, useful in and out of a fight. I always liked that. It wasn't just a weapon, it was a tool as well. What happened to this blade of yours? Taken, lost. I don't know. He pulls a balisong knife from his back pocket, extends his arm, offering it to you. How about you, stranger? You handy with the blade? No, I am not. Damn, any idea where it went? No, and even if I did, you think I'd tell a stranger where to find it? That blade was my most prized possession. If anyone's going to find it, it's going to be me. We're taking this raft back from the Rat King, and we need your help, all the help we can get. Can we count on you? He chuckles. You're all fools. The last two mutinies failed, and yours will too. Even if you did have a chance, it was Cadmus and his boys that did this to me. You think I'm going to cozy up with them? I'm sorry that they hurt you, but like you said, you got caught in a crossfire. People get hurt in those situations. It happens. Cadmus would never intentionally harm you. The Rat King, on the other hand... I said no. I'm not putting my neck out for anybody. I'm going to ride this thing out, and that's all there is to it. If you help us, I can make it worth your while. I have connections back in Kowloon. You hard of hearing? I said no, and that's final. I'm not laying my life on the line for you or for Cadmus or anyone else. Oh, we have an etiquette here. Wake up. You're living in a war zone. Not choosing a side won't keep you safe. It'll get you killed. He stares at you with his good eye. You're right. I know that. I know it better than most. But can't just pick up and leave. Nobody can. The Rat King won't let us. Then we'll have to kill the fucking thing, won't we? He stares at her with a good eye. It's subtle, but something in his expression changes, grows hard. You a killer, girl? I do it for a living. We all do. Then maybe you've got a chance. He grits his teeth, gingerly touches the ruin of his collapsed eye socket. To hell with it. I'm in. When you make your move, I'll do what I can to help. You've made the right decision. Go to Cadmus and wait for our signal. I will. Oh, wow. I didn't think we were going to get him, but... Alright. I don't know if Yasmin is going to be on board. Gobbet, you're back. We're taking the ship back, Yasmin, and we need your help. Her eyes go wide. Another mutiny? No, not me. Go to someone else. I saw what happened last time. Last time, you didn't have me here. We're going to kill this monster that stole Malvina's voice, Yaz. You've got my word on that. She stares at Gobbet long and hard. Finally, she acquiesces with a nod. All right, Gobbet, I'm in. I'm terrified, but I'm in. Her voice breaks, but she continues on. I'm no fighter, you know that. I'll keep the ship afloat, and that's about it. But I'll do what I can to help. You'll be okay, Yasmin, I promise. Circle up with your brother. I'm sending everyone we can convince to help to meet up with him in the sick room. He'll tell you what to do from there. All right. I think this person we should be able to get help to help. We saved their life. Thanks again for your help. I've bled out if you hadn't come along. We're going to take another run at the Rat King, and you're going to kill it. And we're going to kill it this time. We could use your help. I want to help, I do, but I can't do much without supplies. She licks her lips, considering. I'll make you a deal. If you hook me up with some medical supplies, I'll join your mutiny. Yeah, I'll give him one of mine. She gratefully accepts the supplies that you offer her. A deal's a deal, and I have a debt to repay. When you make your move on the Rat King, I'll be there to help. Good. Head to the quarantine area and meet up with Cadmus. He'll let you know what to do. I have a few things to take care of first, but I will. You've got my word on that. Okay, I think that's everybody. Let's see here. Wait, we did find Cadmus. Why didn't we get... Okay, I think that's it. Let's go talk to Cadmus, I guess. You're back. Need something? Let's see here. When did all of this start? It must have been sometime after Gobbet left. Nah, not long. Maybe a week or so. We couldn't see it at the time, but it was happening. I'd stake my life on it. I don't get this. Everything was fine when I left the raft. I mean, the vibe here had changed, but Malvina was still Malvina. If anything, she was even stronger than the woman I'd known. Yeah, she got strong all right. Strong and mean. It started small. A couple of months after Tsui's mutiny, Malvina started proposing new rules. She said she was cracking down on infractions, keeping order to keep us safe. But over time, those rules started piling up, and gradually the punishment started getting worse. She became paranoid. He gives you a shallow nod. Yeah, that's right. That's what I mean when I say that she had it in her all along. He pauses, checks himself. I don't think that Malvina can even be described as a she anymore. It is really a they. Our friend is dead, or changed so much that she might as well be. And the things that are wearing her skin don't belong in this world. There's a trapped room at the end of the hall. Know anything about that? Yeah, me and my crew built the thing. Let me guess, Malvina's orders. He nods. First thing she asked us to do after Tsui's little rebellion. We started work on the thing the week after you left. Yasmin was in charge of the project. Can you tell us how to get past it? No, he coughs wetly into his sleeve. No, but Yaz can. She should be somewhere on this level. Go find her and tell her I sent you. We will. Thanks, Cad. He dabs specks of blood from his lips. Don't mention it. We should go in there. Hang in there, man. He grunts. I ain't going nowhere. Be safe. All right. We got to go talk to Yasmin again. Cadmus said that you were in charge of building the trap at the end of the hall. Yeah, that was me. I didn't want to build the thing, but I did it to help Malvina, to keep us safe. I've regretted it ever since. We could really use your help, Yaz. We need to get below decks, and we need to do it in one piece. Can you help us get past the trap that you built? I think so. It's been a long time, but I think I remember what wires you need to snip to disarm the thing. She fumbles at a nearby table, grabs a napkin, then produces a grease pencil from her breast pocket and begins to draw. There's a hidden access panel in the floor. You'd never find it if you didn't know where to look. You snip these wires here and this one here, bypass this circuit. She scribbles on a napkin with a steady hand, and then flip this lever. Do that and you're done. The trapdoor won't trigger and you won't get dumped into the killing pit. Killing pit? She passes the napkin to Gobbet. It's pretty much what you'd expect. She snatches the napkin from Yasmin's hand. Thanks, Yaz. You don't know how badly we needed this. I can guess. Cadmus sent you to me, after all. She smiles weakly. Best of luck. Leave you to work. Yeah, and thanks. Be careful out there. Okay, so now we should be able to get through the room. Okay, we're going to save. Following the grease pencil diagram, you locate a hunk of metal flooring with a slightly raised edge. Hooking your fingers under it, you lift to reveal a hidden access panel. That's a good sign. Follow Yasmin's instructions to disarm the trap. The instructions are surprisingly easy to follow. 3 snips with your pocket knife and a rewired connection later, the floor-spanning trapdoor has been disarmed. Well, that was easy. She beams at you. Go on, Seattle. You take the lead. You've earned it. Gee, thanks. Alright, let's see if we can... Hey, we didn't die. Okay, here we go. Okay. Oh. Stepping into this room is like wading into the killing floor of a slaughterhouse. There isn't an inch of ground that isn't caked with spilled blood. The stench that floods into your nostrils is as overpowering as it is vile. It is the stench of rotten beef and stale vomit, of warm blood poured into a chemical toilet and left out in the sun to cook. Oh, God, that's all horrible. The buzzing of flies in your ears helps bring you back to your senses. Blinking against the light, you see stacks of smoldering trash piled nearly to the ceiling. The piles of dead bodies are stacked nearly as high. I'm going to turn to Gobbet and say, are you okay? She doesn't seem to notice you. Her jaw hangs open in horror. As her eyes move from atrocity to atrocity, her cheeks slowly drain of color. Bitch. And no, not Simon. Tears spill down her cheeks. Oh, rat, no, this. Gobbet grasps for a way to finish her thought. She doesn't find one. I'm sorry, Gobbet. I know these people were friends. A lot of them were. Some I didn't know. Her eyes remain locked on the nearest pile of corpses. They all deserved better than this. The Rat King is supposed to be down on this level. That means we're headed in the right direction. After seeing this, I don't think that this raft is worth saving. We should go back to my original plan. Seattle, let's send this thing to the bottom. That's where it belongs. You can't do that, Gobbet. We already told Cadmus that we're going to help him. He's been getting the other mutineers ready to fight, not to evacuate. If we sink this thing now, they might not even make it off the boat. We'll tell them that we changed our mind, using the alarm system. They'll make it out, trust me. We made the promise, so Gobbet, I think that we should keep it. She sighs. I think it's a stupid idea, Seattle, but if we're really going to do this, then I'll help you get it done. At least this way, I'll be able to look the Rat King in the eye when I kill it. Damn right. If we're going to do this, we need to find Malvina's old cabin. It should be west of here. Got it. I'll have to get the shiny object away from the Rat King if we want to kill it. That's probably going to be tricky. I don't think that she'll just let me saunter up and take it. You've stolen the shiny object twice already. Third time's the charm, right? Yeah, 3 makes the list. She rolls her soldiers, exhales heavily. All right, let's do this. Okay. Oh, it's one of the scuttling charges. The scuttling charge is old, very old. The case is cracked and leaking, and you can see exposed wires underneath. A large red toggle switch serves as a safety. It is currently set to armed. We're just going to step away from that. I'm not going to fuck with that. Okay. Wow, we freaking rats. All right. Let's see, let's get an accurate shot. Crap. There we go. All right. We're gonna save there. A simple magically prepared salve that heals 7 base HP and a further 7 HP per round. Yeah, we'll take that. I'm not messing with the charges. This door is heavy. It could easily be barred to prevent outside intrusion, but instead it stands ajar. It's almost as if it's inviting you in. That's Malvina's old cabin, the seat of power for the sinking ship. That's where the Rat King is going to be. Oh, we're going to back away. Once we go in there, we're going to be in this. We're going to be in this. There's no changing our minds after we picked a fight with that thing. What do you say, Yemmer? Are we doing this or not? Not yet. Just a second. I want to make sure. What do we have here? There's a charge over there. What is this? Oh, okay. An old relay switch box hangs off the wall. The plastic exterior of the case is broken in numerous places, and a jumble of wires spill out of the cracks. This must be the shipboard alert system, or what's left of it. Your eyes are drawn to a large lever marked alarm. Alright, let's start the mutiny. The alarm system blares once, then twice. The sound is ear-splitting. Moments later, the distant sounds of gunshots filters down from above. Alright. We've started it. Let's go deal with the Rat King. Okay. This is where Rat King's going to be. Enter the Rat King's throne room. Oh. Ugh. What is... That is... That's just nastiness. The thing that looms over you is horrifying. A twisted amalgamation of woman and swarm, knotted and tied together in a single whole. Gobbet. The creature's voice is unnerving. 1,000 rumbling voices, all interwoven and laid over the top of Malvina's crisp, cultured speech. You have returned to us, little mouse. You, the instigator of her own ascendancy. The Rat King shifts its gaze to a nearby altar. A gleaming red stone has been ensconced within. The keystone, the source of our unity, the font of power that makes us strong. Your gift to us, little mouse. You gave us what we needed to bring this raft to order. Gobbet's nose crinkles in revulsion. On her shoulders, madness and folly chitter and shriek. Save me the speech, Malvina, or whatever you are. I'm not here to talk. The new body isn't doing you any favors, by the way. You look like a furry tree stump. The creature leans forward into the light. A fine-featured face with high cheekbones and piercing eyes stares down at you. The carpet of living vermin that bury the rest of Malvina's head and neck struggle and shriek. Our new body is beauty itself, unity of biology and unity of purpose. We're going to say nothing to that. What you are is an idiot. You saw what Sui let loose within the shiny object, and you decided to keep using it anyway. If that isn't stupid, I don't know what is. The thing's voice grows to a roar, and you hear other sounds folded into it. The cacophonous, gibbering babble of things gone mad. We are order out of chaos, the death of entropy, of a glorious unity. Oh, fuck this. She pulls back the slide on her weapon. We're here to kill this thing, not to let it talk us to death. Alright, damn right. Okay. Oh, she's coming right up on us. Okay. Where is the thing? You hear the scrape of metal. Okay. Let's see. Oh, wait. I think it popped up there. The Rat King recoils but only for a moment. A strange energy washes over it, bathing its body in indigo light. Alright, there it is. Let's see. Oh, this is me. can't see where it is. Maybe it's... Oh, Gobbet has to go get it. Alright. Alright, I need to do... Get her into cover. Alright. An ominous chittering fills the air. The Rat King shrieks as Gobbet lifts the shiny object in her hands. In its voice, you hear the echoes of 1,000 inhuman beings. This is interesting. She hugs the shiny object to her chest, her bare hands caressing the stone. I can feel Malvina's control over the rats. It's like 1,000 strings connecting her to them. And it feels like one of the Rat King's servitors shudders in place. Slowly, it's seemingly against its own will, it lifts its head to stare at you. I can tug at those strings. Malvina's cultured voice is overtaken by the inhuman roars of the other things that share her body. We will rend you all to pieces, tear your flesh to shreds. Gobbet dances back, cradling the shining object like a newborn baby. She begins to laugh. Buy me a little time, Seattle. I'm getting used to this thing. But if you give me a minute or two, those demon rats will be mine. I can do that. Alright. So, she's got a bubble. She's got a magical shield. Immune. Okay. Wait, why am I not controlling my... Oh, there we go. That was weird. Okay, got it. Wow. I hit it. Actually. Shit. Gobbet. Let's move up a little bit for him. Oh, that's better percentage. Oh. We're good. We're fine. Wait, I don't have an angle? I don't want to go over here because I think there's a bomb over there, but I don't know. We'll give it a try here. No angle there. You know what? We'll Overwatch. And then this guy... Oh, wait, she's open. Shit. Oh. Oh, I'm controlling the rat. Damn it. Alright. Okay, let's see here. 70, 47. Alright. Or actually, hold on. I can do my aim shot. Damn it. Well, we did it! Whoa! The Rat King's body shudders and convulses. As you watch, the living carpet of devil rats that forms the majority of its bulk begins to writhe. Malvina opens her mouth to speak, but you'll never know what she was going to say. The only sound that escapes from her throat is a long, ragged scream. With a dawning horror, you come to realize what you're looking at. The devil rats that surround Malvina are turning inward. She's being eaten alive. Gobbet stares dead-eyed at her former friend as the swarm is bound to her, rips her body apart. Black blood pours in rivers to the aluminum-lined floor. Come on, Gobbet, let's get the hell out of here. You go if you want to. I'm watching this. I owe Malvina that much. The ghastly feast unfolding before you continues long after Malvina's screams have died away. Finally satisfied, Gobbet nods to you. The raft is ours. It's over. Her PDA buzzes. She glances down at it, then turns the screen so that you can see. Cadmus's grim visage fills the screen. I don't know what you just did, but whatever it was, it worked. Those rat things turned on Malvina's loyalists. He wheezes into his mask, gulping in purified air. And when they got done eating him, they started eating each other. Gobbet stares down at the shiny object that she holds clutched in her hands. Yeah, I know. I told them to. Right after I did the same thing to the Rat King. Malvina's dead, Cad. You did good, Gobbet. You and your friends. We won. Come up topside. A celebration is in order. She shakes her head. No, Cad. No celebrations. And no milling around. You can keep this place. I'm done with it. Too many bad memories. And besides all of that, you've got a hell of a mess on your hands. It'll be damned if I'm going to help clean it up. You've already helped us clean up, Gobbet. We'll always owe you for that. Yeah, well, let's not make a big thing out of it. Goodbye, Cad, and good luck. She flicks off the PDA. The screen goes dark. Captain Jomo is still waiting for us outside. Ready to go home? Beyond ready. She passes the shiny object from one hand to the other, scowling. And this stupid thing is taking a one-way trip to the bottom of the bay. This is kind of a test, but I'm going to say you could hang on to it yourself if you wanted. You know how powerful it is. Fuck no. Haven't you been paying attention? She shakes her head in exasperation. I swear, it's like you haven't learned a thing I've taught you. Hey, that was a test. Congratulations, you passed. There's a long pause. Slowly, the corner of her mouth tilts upward. Come on, Seattle. Come on, Iz. Let's bury this thing at sea and go home. Oh. I guess that's it. That's just, we don't even have to exit. It automatically did it. Hey, Captain Jomo's speedboat carries you away from the sinking ship. Now liberated from the tyranny of the Rat King once and for all. The shiny object rests with Malvina's bones at the bottom of the Hung Hong Bay. Gobbet stares back at the raft as it recedes into the distance. Her expression is at once happy and sad. Isabel takes her hand, and together they turn away. Heioi grows closer. You're going home. Okay, hopefully we got some karma here. We did. All right, let's see here. So we have, oh wow, 11 karma. All right. So we should, okay, we got, so yeah, we're up to 8. We'll confirm that. But I want to look real quick. So, oh, wait a minute. Okay, at level 8, we'll get 2 drones. We like that. And then, yeah, so we need quite a few here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So like 45 more karma to get it all done. So that's good. All right. So at this point, oh, your comlink chirps and Kindly Chang's rusty voice slides through the speaker. You can hear the sounds of mahjong players laughing in the background. It's Auntie Chang, dear. My, but you sound happy, Auntie Chang. Oh, I am, my sweet. I'm one step closer to breaking Josephine Tsang. I have a lead on the location of the plastic-faced man, the man we saw in the surveillance footage meeting Raymond Black at the tea house on the docks. Where is he? Not on the comm. Come see me and we'll talk. Okay. Yes, we got another AP. +1 action point. Your experience has increased your ability to operate in dangerous situations. Oh, we like that a lot. So actually now, so what I'm going to be able to do is I'm going to equip another No, I'm going to hold off right now. But I'll be able to equip another drone, and that still leaves me with just 1 AP, but I'll be able to run 2 drones at a time, which is very nice. I like that. This is all really good things for us. So, I'm very excited about that, and I'm excited to see what's going on, progressing the story. Actually, first, hold on. Everybody leveled up. All right, Gobbet. Let's see. Plague Bearer. Gobbet gains a conjuring spell that sets 4 heavy cover barriers that last 3 rounds. Anyone that enters takes -14 H. Oh, wow. That's actually nice. Gobbet now carries a devil rat spirit fetish in her standard equipment. I like Plague Barrier. We're going to go with that. Isabel. Isabel gains a bright light system cyber eye. High energy flash bulbs hidden in cyber eye, capable of temporarily blinding an opponent. Or espionage. Jolt alert. If the user is in a stunned state, they will be jolted awake with 1 AP. We'll go with sabotage. Okay. Ooh. Recoil compensation. Full auto fire no longer has a -10 penalty, or gains a new weapon, a melee range shock baton. It does 4 HP and 2 AP damage per hit. We'll do the recoil compensation. Gaichu. Let's see here. Augmented stance. Metal. Gaichu's metal stance now provides light cover bonuses, preventing critical hits in the open. Oh. Gaiju exudes a cloud of disease spores, damaging nearby enemies. Oh, that's definitely, we're going with that. And then Raptor. All of Koshi's firearm systems attacks now pierce 2 armor. Clawed feet. We're going to give him Predator. And we'll confirm that. All right. I'm excited for Gaichu's disease ability. What's this? Regenerate. Oh, yeah. He'll be able to regenerate. That's good. Just checking what everybody's haste. That's a good one. Isabel. Mini launcher. Isabel's mini launcher now strips 1 armor. Or, yeah, we'll have to go with that. Then his is a magnet arm. Allows him to throw back incoming grenades. Yeah, he's going to get that. Then he's going to get regenerate. And then Raptor. Is going to get a laser. So I don't know when we're going to get that. But we've got all those. So I am excited to try those out. And I am having a great time with this game. I hope you are as well. If you are, please like, subscribe, follow, share, all those fun things. We put out new videos every day. In that regard, I hope you guys are having a great day wherever you are. and we will see you tomorrow, everybody. Bye now.